ecological issues. They affect us all. And so, tonight on Second Nature, we'll be recycling some old nature footage.
right, let's start the fucking show, eh?
You're going to jail.
I will never leave YouTube.
I don't give a fuck about the fucking law. I'll beat your ass.
Don't come to my trailer again. You will be banned.
I'll beat your ass.
You officially entered the wet panty zone.
Folks, let's switch over here, get ourselves comfortable. Thank you for joining me. As you see, the drink is already poured. We are ready to rock. Pick it up where we left off. I took last week off. Nothing bad going on. Just thought it was slow. I've been meaning. I usually take a little break after the New Year's stuff to kind of cap off the year, but this year we kept going. The year started off strong, but I got to admit, the last little while it's been kind of slow. I mean, there's been stuff. We've been spoiled, folks. That is the problem. We have such a high standard. It's just hard to keep up with it. But we got a few little nuggets this week that we're going to check out. We're going to freestyle. Going to do a little different. Now, I had planned, I was going to actually do this on StreamYard and try to compare it to see if we had any connection issues, because I seem to think it might be a OBS YouTube connection issue. I see other people in the Reddits and whatnot talking about it, but short of reinstalling my OBS and stuff, I just haven't done that yet. But here we are. We're going to try it. So if there are connection issues, I do apologize. It'll probably happen a couple times, and just refresh, bear with it. In a couple minutes it goes away. I know it's a pain in the ass, but we'll get through it, folks, and we're just going to freestyle it. I don't have anything downloaded per se. We're just going to take it right from the teat. We got lots of VONHELTON to catch up on. Thanks to Fat Photog, we're going to catch up on a little EMO and SHANNY. Yeah, and other stuff. We're going to take it right from YouTube, so that's how we're going to play it tonight. If you know of something, say something, and we can include it in the show as well. But thanks for being here. Thumbs it up. Just kind of waiting on a few other people to come on in. And I got a very special something that I picked up off the internet. I might have to play it a couple times. Folks, we have an update from the man himself, Marty. Music Biz Marty. That's right, folks. Is it fact? Is it fiction? Is it a specter from beyond the grave? Is it very well done AI? I'll let you decide. But I'll be interested to see Cyrax's reaction to this. And I'm going to share it with you, folks. We might have to play it a couple times. Make sure everybody gets a chance to see it. But thank you for being here. We are back in the saddle again, as they say. We're going to have ourselves a good old time. So, let's all have a sip. Let's get our drinks, our snacks, and just dive right into this show. I'm going to go ahead and have a little sip here, folks. Cheers. There we go. Perfect. Good omen, folks. A good omen. So like I said, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to spoil the people that are here nice and early for your front row seats. We're going to forego the musical number, and we're going to just get right into this update. Now, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just going to put it out there. You make the decision. I'm not here to tell you one way or another. But this is what I picked up. This is very recent. Folks, you tell me what you think. A message from beyond the grave. Possibly. Let's check it out.
Greetings and good evening, everyone. I wanted to stop in and give you all an update on the current status of my trip to Cuba. Cyrax, in his infinite wisdom, seems to believe that Miami is located somewhere in Cuba, so I'm starting to think the feds may not be hot on my trail after all. Something is telling me this may just be a ploy by Mr. Wilkins to have me on the run. Either way, though, I don't see little baby boy being much of a factor at the moment, since currently he has managed to brick his Xbox and his PC back to back, leaving him with no way to work or be able to provide for his family. Most importantly, though, he's vulnerable and can't protect his family right now. That's the most important part. Speaking of the little retard, the book is making a killing on Amazon, as well as other retail sites, and not just the digital version. The print version was on bestseller lists across the nation as well. Be sure to also look out for the new action figures of the 43s at $339 by my fellow amigos, N-Word Boy and William Glory Hole. Sorry, guys, but I'm going to keep this short just in case the little freak is lurking somewhere on one of his sock puppet accounts. I just wanted to thank everyone for the help in our massive success in operations and send everyone salutations from the sunny shores of Cuba. Keep that little pedo off the internet.
So, folks, I'll let you decide. What do you think? We'll play it later again. We'll analyze it. We'll get deeper into it, folks. But is it a chilling message from beyond the grave? I don't know. We'll just have to hang in there and see what's going on. So let's get, like I said, let's get this party started. Let's catch up. Now, Targeted Citizen hasn't put up much out this week. This is older, but this is still something that we haven't seen yet. So we'll see how his backyard is doing with those damn illegal aliens. And we'll just move forward from there. Folks.
For those late to the show, this is what happens when you have illegal aliens for neighbors. Now, granted, my backyard used to be gorgeous. Used to have it all striped up beautifully. They cut trees down, knock trees down. They flood your yard. See the flood? See the flood? This is why I had AstroTurf down in the backyard to keep the mud from eroding. As you can tell, it's rotted out my neighbor's entire building. You see? And this has been a light rain. This is not heavy rain. This is a light rain from the illegal aliens. Now, they have a nice, beautiful house now. They have one of the prettiest yards around. Why? Because they don't care about anyone else. They don't care about anything except their American dream. They don't care about your American dream. They care about theirs. While they're subsidized by your tax dollars. As you can see, the flood. Look how fast the water's moving. I mean, it's moving that fast, and just a light rain collapsed my neighbor's building. It's destroyed my yard. It washes our driveway down. I'll tell you, when it really gets up, you can see how far it washes all the gravel out of the road. Several times a year, I have to go out here and rake the gravel back into the driveway. I had to talk my neighbor here, Sam, into putting a bamboo up on the fence to give him a little bit of privacy. But as you can see, it washes the entire building out. And just listen. When it comes off this wall, it literally comes as a wall of water. A wall of water comes down this. See, this right here was a berm. This berm was built up about 8 feet tall, and this whole thing was big old beautiful trees. This back quarter was wooded. But they took the berm down. Why was the berm there? Because all the water that comes off of that bank, or off the pharmacy, off their driveway, off that road up there at the old Pepsi coal plant, all that water flows right through here. Now there's a French drain or a ditch on the upper side there, but it overflows out of that ditch, comes through his yard, sets here, and of course, like I said, he tore the berm down. The berm is what prevented all of this flooding. But illegal aliens know nothing about grading. They know nothing about construction. They know nothing about being neighborly. They know nothing about being respectful Americans. They do not care. Would you like a big jail fence behind your house? Isn't that lovely? A jail fence. See, after he tore all this down, then people started walking through his yard. I wonder why people would do that. Well, mostly illegal people walk through the yard. So then he puts up his big jail fence. And now he's going to do the same thing on my side. You see the destruction? He's cleared the entire property line. So now my neighbor's stuff is not safe. My stuff is not safe because from the other side, you can see everything in our backyard. But as you can see, all his is covered up. See? All his property's covered up. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. You're Americans. What right do you have to your own land? It is an invasion until you guys are ready to recognize the invasion. It's a 100-year-old building and stood tall, graciously stood tall until the flood began. Until the flooding of our properties. Yep. And that illegal alien up there, see the trees on that fence that he cut down as well? See, this is what they do. They destroy every tree. That's about 10 trees on that fence. Like, you could not see through that fence at all. Total privacy. But when the illegal aliens move in, they destroy everything. They cut down every tree, every bush, any bit of privacy you think you're allowed to have as an American. Nope. Not when you're an illegal alien. And see, look, they're even cutting more down up there. Not enough privacy. They got to cut more down. See this? Look at all that stuff. Why? Because illegal aliens bought the house at the top too. Isn't that lovely? Isn't it lovely? Isn't it wonderful? Little truck just sitting there humming. And this is the reason why I had to put a French drain in. And of course, you know, French drains really don't help much. The French drains through here, and then it cuts to here. But once there's so much dirt and mud that washes over top of it, it's hard for the water to drain in. It just can't drain in fast enough because it washes over top. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it just lovely? I wish I could invade another country. See, this is the drain itself. This is the bottom of it. Look how deep this is. But nobody cares about our property. Nobody. Me and Sam are the only white folks at the top of the block here. We're the only Americans up here. The rest of almost the whole entire block is nothing but illegal aliens. Look at this. I have to dig this out every year. Well, actually, every couple months I have to dig this out. See? And guaranteed. I mean, look how fast it fills up. Look how fast that's already filling up. And when it's our time to leave here, you can guarantee that I guess I gotta bring a shovel home and dig this hole out again. Dig the drain back out again. But when it's our time to leave here, within a week, I say, it won't even take a week, they will whack this entire Photinia hedge. They'll take down all the cedars. They'll take down every tree on this tree line. They'll take every one of them down so they can see from house to house to house. So they can see straight on through. See, this right here is called privet. Privet's a weed, but if you train it, grow it, and trim it correctly, it can make a nice hedge. So I've been growing these for years. I fertilize them, I trim them, and what do? They come through in the middle and they cut it all down. Cut it down so they can see through, because they gotta see what's in your backyard. Illegal aliens must know what's in your backyard. That's why I had all this bamboo up. Try to give me a little bit of privacy? Nope. They ain't having that. Just like when they almost killed the red tips up there, they're finally recovering. I told you the story about me and Mason leaving here, and they were next door in their truck. As soon as me and Mason take off in my Bronco, we get to the top of the hill, we see them jump out of the truck with ladders. They climb in the top of my red tips, my Photinias right here, whack the top out of them, and nearly killed the tree. I fought these trees for the last 4 years to try to get the blight removed. Because anytime you cut an old plant like that back really hard, it stunts their growth. It can kill them and weakens them so much that blight, an infection, a disease takes over. These are the best the trees have looked since these morons next door cut my trees. My trees. Why? Because the property line is right here. Right here's the property line on this corner. And it goes straight through there diagonally like that. So I told them, if you want to cut straight up. Whatever is up, you do. But what do? They come all the way 10 feet on my property, climbed up in my tree, whacked the top off of it. By the time I got back around from the neighborhood, the illegal alien organizer from Colombia pulled a 4-foot-long machete on me. Not a good idea to pull a machete on me. Just remember the Indiana Jones flick. You know the one? The first Indiana Jones? where the Muslim is slinging his swords around and all that stuff. See, they throw stuff back in my yard. They just throw it over the fence. The illegal alien swinging his sword around, and Indiana Jones just goes pop and eliminates him. Yeah, well, you think law enforcement arrested them for pulling a machete on me and threatening to kill me? Of course not. Why would Longview PD do their job? Why would they do that? That would be ridiculous. Imagine the paperwork. Imagine the paperwork. I mean, I'm just a quiet guy, tries to live a quiet life. But, you know, when you're targeted by the feds and targeted by your local law enforcement, targeted by the illegal aliens that have invaded your country, it's just not right to speak up. Just take it. Just bend over and take it. That's the American way. Take the abuse from the invaders. Take it. Just like the recent judge telling Donald Trump, you got 3 days to bring the illegal alien MS-13 gang member victim home. If not, we're going to hold you in contempt because a liberal judge can control what the president does. Yeah, that's how the law's written, ain't it? And by the way, Donald Trump, I am not happy. You keep talking about MS-13. What about me? What about these people invading Hickory, North Carolina, the former furniture capital of the world? So we used to be the furniture capital of the world. Then NAFTA exported all of our jobs to China, and then they put the sign in Mexico, come on to North Carolina. Get a job, get health care, get free health care, get welfare, get it all. And anybody that wants to doubt that they get health care and welfare, you are a fool. I've proven it time and time and time again. They are here to take everything from what's left of America. They're here to suck. They are literal vampires. Illegal aliens are vampires. And until you're really willing to come to that resolution in your mind, you are just another dumb sheep waiting for the vampires to take you. God bless.
Okay, so there we go. It's raining, his backyard is wet, and it's the illegal aliens' fault. I don't know why he just doesn't call ICE. They're itching to grab people, apparently, but I don't know. So let's go back in time and watch some VONHELTON. Let's get caught up with some VONHELTON, then we'll do some other stuff. We got some EMO and SHANNY and REV to do as well. Now, I haven't watched any of these, and I mean, we got hours of stuff here. I really don't know if you guys know of one better than the other. Let's go back last week and let's start with this one. It's a half hour. Let's jump ahead here.
Okay, anyway, yes, good morning.
Here we go.
It is Morning Coffee 3.
Give it a sec, folks. Give it a sec.
82.
I'll pause it for a sec, let it buffer up. Folks, world news with Barrett Irwin Eugene VONHELTON. Okay, let's do it.
I am desperately waiting for my Uncrustables to thaw. I may not wait. I may eat them anyway, frozen or not, hard as a rock or not. I may eat them anyway. Dummy me forgot to lay them out the night before so that they'd be good and thawed this morning. But that's okay. It's all good. Before we begin, I have a slightly little VONHELTON. I was right. Had some problems with the furnace. The furnace was giving me fits. In fact, it was getting to the point where I would have to manually turn the furnace on. You know, I'd go and I'd wake up shivering and it would be 60 in the house and the thermostat set on 75. It's like, what the hell is going on? Well, it turns out it wasn't some big $2,000 or $3,000 repair bill. It was just a little tiny battery in the thermostat. Well, gee, Von, how do you know? Because the thermostat's completely dead. It's dead as a doorknob, man. Black, pitch black in it. So, yeah, got to pull it off the wall, put the battery in there, put it back on the wall. I'm good to go. So, thank the gods for that. Because it could have been something serious. It could have been something that cost thousands of dollars. Nope, just a little battery. So, we put the battery in there, and we're good to go. So, little tiny, I was right there before we begin. Now, what I am hearing, and this is what I'm hearing that Trump is not going to give Israel what it wants. It is not going to give Israel a war with Iran. And I don't think even a surgical strike, although Israel wants that. But that's what I'm hearing. Now, we can Google it here in a few seconds and see if that's what's still going on. But what was going on, what my understanding is that Trump isn't going to give them a strike on Iran because that could lead to World War III. And we don't want World War III, folks. World War III scenario, nobody wins, okay? Nobody wins in World War III because that jet stream up there and the Gulf Stream over here will sit there and pull that radiation all over the globe. No one will escape. Well, VONHELTON and I built a lead container that I can get into, and that lead container will keep me safe from radiation. No. Well, that's kind of a misnomer. I mean, the lead will protect you for a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean, eventually that radiation going to bore through that lead. I mean, it just takes it a long, 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 long time, and hopefully you're out of there before it burrows through the rest of the way. That's the plan. Actually, believe it or not, gold is actually more of an inhibitor to radiation than lead is, believe it or not. Why that is, I'm not a metallurgist, go talk to a metallurgist. But yes, gold, believe it or not, if you have something lined in gold, radiation can't get through. Isn't that amazing? You notice that when these priests of old, whether it be monotheistic or pagan, they always wore gold. They always wore gold every time. Why? Because the gold somehow wards off the radiation. Don't know why. Like I said, I'm not a metallurgist. Go talk to a metallurgist. But yeah, you notice all these ancient priests, before they went to speak to God, they would always wear gold every time. Either gold necklace, gold wristbands, or gold around their neck, gold around their waist. So, I mean, some of them even got elaborate and just made a huge gold chest plate to put over their chest, which probably protected them. But yeah, notice, go back and look. They would always wear gold whenever they went to talk to God. And for some strange reason, that always seemed to repel the radiation, and they lived. Imagine that. So, if you really want to protect yourself against a nuclear attack, you want to get inside something that's made out of gold. Nobody really thought about this, but I mean, hey, if you've got an air hole that you need to use to breathe, didn't it ever dawn on you that the radiation would just go down the breathe hole and kill you anyway? Nobody ever thought, or a flash flood if the whole earth floods, like some people believe, wouldn't the water just go down the breathing tube where you're at underground and just kill you anyway? Nobody really thinks about these things, I guess, huh? It never really dawns on somebody to, hey, wait a minute, but whatever. Anyway, point being, what I tell you, I told you that those underground cities or whatever would be their tomb. Did I not say that? Yes, I did. I'm on record saying that shit. That'll be another I was right eventually, huh? Yeah. Anywho, moving right along. What we'll do here is in a minute, we're going to go and we're going to do it live. We're going to pull a Bill O'Reilly and do it live, and we're going to go and look at what the internet is saying today in regards to bum Iran, bum Iran, bum Iran, bum Iran. We're going to see if we're going to bomb Iran today, and we'll get it live off the internet, and hopefully we're still at the place where we're not going to attack or surgically strike Iran, and thus not start World War III. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get me another iced tea because I finished mine and forgot to go get it before I hit the play button. So I'm going to play a video here, and we'll see what we're going to do. What have we got here? Let's do this one. That was not Joe Biden. It was a body double the whole time. The ears are not right. The nose is not right. The forehead is not right. The hair is not right. None of that was right. Why did they use a body double? Huh? Who knows? Maybe Biden's dead. Maybe the real Biden is dead. Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Now, on the plus side of that, if it was a body double and he signed checks or he signed legal documents, they're null and void because the actual Biden has to sign those documents. So that's a good thing. And So anything he signed is null and void. Because the real deal has to sign legal documents, whether it be a check, whether it be a law, whether it be a statute, whether it be an executive order. They have to be signed by the real guy. Can't let a body double sign shit. That's this whole controversy with the auto pen, you know. Well, the auto pen did this and the auto pen did that. Well, but was the auto pen using the real Biden's signature, or was it using a fake Biden signature? Good question. Not for me to answer. I am not a linguistics expert or a handwriting expert. Let them handle that shit. In any event, we are here, and we are going to go live with the latest on bomb Iran. See if we're going to bomb Iran today. We will ask Bing, that's the AI of Microsoft, and we will ask them if we are going to bomb Iran. And so let's see here. Are we going to do a surgical strike on Iran? And I ran so far away, I couldn't get away. Anyway, let's see what we got here, man. Okay, well, according to Newsweek, right there on the top. Right there on the top. Well, look at this. Look at this, boys and girls, right there on the top. We have our answer. Yes, we do. We have our answer, at least for the moment. Anyway, Israel has called off Iran strikes after Trump intervened. Well, look at that. Look at that. I ain't playing the video. Israel was preparing to launch military strikes against multiple nuclear targets in Iran until U.S. President Donald Trump intervened, according to a New York Times report citing administration officials and others briefed on the discussions. Newsweek reached out to the White House for comment via email on Wednesday night. The context: Israel's reported decision to call off strikes comes as tensions between Israel, Iran, and its proxies continue to escalate, and Iran recently flat-out rejected U.S. demands to curb its uranium enrichment. What to know? The Times reported that Israel was planning to strike Iran as soon as May, but Trump stepped in because the White House was leaning towards taking a diplomatic approach towards Tehran as opposed to a military one. According to the Times, Trump decided to negotiate with Iran after months of internal debate among administration officials who favored a strong military stance against the rogue state and those who were wary of launching a wider war in the Middle East when tensions in the region are already at a tipping point. Did we just see that picture? Did we just see the picture? I don't know. Anyway.
All right, let's skip it ahead a little bit. I don't want to
According
read
to the talks in Oman. Indian targets, according to the Times. About Iran, never ahead of the talks. One more time. So, yeah. Now, what is the problem? The problem with Israel doing a surgical strike on Iran is that by hitting the nuclear facilities, you end up with not one, not two, but 3 Fukushimas. That's the problem with going in there with missiles and guns and taking out these nuclear facilities. You're going to end up with 3 Fukushimas, folks, or 3 Three Mile Islands, or 3 Chernobyls, or whatever. We can't do that. You know, now maybe back before when they were first starting to get this program going, we might could have done that. But now it's at the stage where you can't. We're at the stage now where if you hit those targets, it's going to be like a Fukushima, and there's 3 of them, so that would be 3 Fukushimas, which would be devastating to the Middle East. And so, no, we cannot use military. There's got to be another way. There's going to have to be another way. You know, because everybody in the Middle East would be dead by, I don't know, maybe a couple days, 3 days, a week. It wouldn't take long to spread, that's for sure. So I mean, yeah, you can't do that at this point. At this stage, that's not viable. So we have to figure out a way, another way, a nonviolent way. And so Trump was 100% correct on this. He played this absolutely correctly. And the fact that I don't like glowing like a light bulb probably helped. But anyway. So yeah, there we are, boys and girls. We have averted, once again, a potential World War III scenario. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now you say, well, Von, you said in the Quran that Muslims are allowed to lie to your face, and that is called al-taqiyya. That's correct. So how do you negotiate with people that are literally allowed to lie to your face? Well, damn, that's going to be tough now, isn't it? It's going to be hard to do, right? Because the Quran is very clear. They're allowed to lie to your face if you're a non-Muslim, especially if they need to advance a goal. It's like, say, nuclear proliferation. So, I mean, if they're wanting to go nuclear, and we don't want them to go nuclear, they're going to lie to your face over and over and over and over and over again, ad nauseum. So, how do you negotiate with somebody like that? I don't know. That's going to be hard, right? Yeah, that's going to be pretty damn hard to do. But do it they must, because, like I said, if we attacked the nuclear facilities in Iran, there would be 3 Fukushimas, and there are 3 at Chernobyls, or 3 3 Mile Islands, and the Middle East would not survive that, I don't think. Don't claim to be an expert, but I don't think that the Middle East would survive that. So, yeah, we can't go in there with a nuclear strike, or with a military strike. No, not at this late stage. Like I said, if we'd have got this early on years ago, yeah, and destroyed the nuclear facilities, yeah. But now at this late stage, no, because it would cause a cascading event. You get me? Which would be compounded, because it wouldn't be just one facility; it'd be 3. So that would compound it 3 times. So that would be 3 times the power of 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, or Fukushima. In other words, it would be 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and Fukushima all at the same time. You get it? So no, that is a bad idea. Very bad idea. So Trump was 100% correct on this one. I got to give the guy credit. He was right on this one. So we have yet averted, once again, World War III. So that's good. That's a good thing. We cannot give these evil fucks their World War III. Okay, because there wouldn't be a humanity left, hardly. And the humanity that is left would be sick and dying anyway from radiation poisoning. So, remember, that radiation is still burrowing through lead. And if you're down in there under that lead umbrella, eventually the radiation will get you. It may take a while. It may take years, but it'll eventually bore through there and get you. But what about the air holes, the water holes, everything, the holes you need to breathe? Nobody's thought of that. It's like, hey, wait a minute. The radiation could just go down the holes that we're using to breathe with. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like I said, man, these things will be their coffins if they choose to start a bunch of shit and then go hide. It'll get them, The gods will get them. One way or another. One way or another, the gods will get them. One way or another, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you one way. Maybe next time. I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. Anyway, so yeah, there we are in a nutshell. War has yet been averted again. Yay. That's awesome. Now, is this going to be the last we hear about this? Well, probably not. Probably not. One thing is disconcerting, though, is that if they do get the bomb, then we are in deep shit. And we may have to attack Iran then, irregardless. Because Iran has already stated publicly that if they get a bomb, they're going to bomb Israel with it. They've already stated that publicly. So, this is a very harrowing situation. Because if they do get a bomb, we'll have no choice but to go to war then, because, they've already stated publicly that if they get a bomb, they're going to bomb Israel. So, that puts us in a bad spot, doesn't it? Yeah. There's nothing we can do about that, though, because they've already stated that publicly. And there's nothing they can do about it because they already put it out there. So they can't walk it back now, because they've already stated publicly that, yeah, if they get a bomb, they're going to bomb Israel. Which makes no sense, because Israel, last I checked, is in the Middle East right along with them. It didn't strike them that if they hit Israel, that ultimately the radiation will spread and that it will engulf Iran. These dumbasses never thought about that shit. Apparently not. Apparently they never thought about that. And so everyone in Iran would be dead if they hit Israel with nukes. But it didn't dawn on them, I guess. I guess they don't believe that, the radiation spreads out. But anyway, so yeah, it's in everyone's interest to put these nuclear toys away permanently due to the fact that we have documents. I've stated this numerous times. I'm going to state it again for the record. We have documents that you can actually go read. They're called the Vimani, the Nakamati, the Vedic texts, I think they're called, where our past human civilization before ours, they had weapons that, quote, shone like the sun and were hot as the sun. Well, what is that? That's a nuclear weapon, of course. And they had these craft called Vimana that they flew in. And basically how the story goes is that, the humans before us got into a nuclear conflict and wiped themselves out. Okay. And that's something you can actually go read. I think, like I said, I believe it's called the Vedic text. You can go read it for yourself, where these dudes wiped each other out with nuclear weapons. Okay. So that's something that we can actually look to and say, well, hey, we don't need to go down this path, right? That's a bad way to go. So let's not go down that path. So that's a good thing, and I'm glad that we have something that we can point to and say, yeah, we don't want that. That's a bad thing. And so once again, World War III has been averted. That's awesome. And I see it's actually 31 minutes. I went 1 minute over because I was yakking, but that's okay. So I'll go on ahead and call it here. But this is good news, obviously, for everyone. And so I'm glad, because, a lot of people were saying, yeah, man, Trump's going to nail them motherfuckers. Well, you can't do that now, because we'd have had 3 Fukushimas all at once. That could not have been a good thing, folks. So anyway, that's going to do it for me. Y'all have a pleasant day and better tomorrow. Bye.
All right. So that's a little bit of taste of on. That was kind of boring, to be honest with you. If the next one's like that, I'm just going to skip it. But that's what he's been up to. We got a few more to go through, but let's take a break. Let's change the vibe a little bit. Let's go over to our good buddy Fat Photog, and he's put out a few that we haven't checked out. We got some REV and SHANNY, a little bit emo, and he's got this here. I'm going to check this out.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Barack Obama's vice president.
And by the way, just so you know, that was not Joe Biden. That was not Joe Biden. It was a body double the whole time. The ears are not right. The nose is not right. The forehead is not right. The hair is not right. None of that was right. Why did they use a body double? Huh? Who knows? Maybe Biden's dead. Maybe the real Biden is dead. Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Now, on the plus side of that, if it was a body double and he signed checks or he signed legal documents, they're null and void. because the actual Biden has to sign those documents. So that's a good thing. And so anything he signed is null and void. Because the real deal has to sign legal documents, whether it be a check, whether it be a law, whether it be a statute, whether it be an executive order. They have to be signed by the real guy. Can't let a body double sign shit. That's this whole controversy with the auto pen, you know. Well, the auto pen did this and the auto pen did that. Well, but was the auto pen using the real Biden signature or was it using a fake Biden signature? Good question. Not for me to answer. I am not a linguistics expert or a handwriting expert. Let them handle that shit. FunForWars.com. Okay, now wait a minute. If my gods hate me so much, how's come I won all them victories in district court?
It's true.
How's come? Huh? Got an explanation?
That's all they can do is talk shit. That's all they can do.
That's all they can do is talk shit. Correct.
That is fucked up, man. That's a tiny.
That's how they all are now. Everything's that way. You saw them ice cream sandwiches. That ice cream sandwich wasn't that fucking long and that fucking wide. What the fuck? That's a toy. It's not even a real ice cream sandwich.
Wow.
Ice cream sandwich it's supposed to be that fucking long and that fucking thick, and not anymore. This little tiny fucker. You know, that's just the way it is, man. Now, I have a theory, and I think it's a damn good one. So, who's to say then that this rap music doesn't have certain harmonies and frequencies that trigger something in the African American mind that probably...
Now, I'll take a drink now. I will take a drink, but I do not freebase cocaine.
Hey, John, take a look.
Well, isn't Doge stopping that now?
Take a look, John.
What is it? I
Hey,
can't.
John, hear us? Is he John looks frozen. Is he frozen? Oh, no, he's moving. John, do you see me?
Let me put that.
He don't want to talk to you.
Holy shit, man! Let me get some of that.
Are they microwave? Are they microwaved or are they oven? Are they done?
No, that's cooked in the oven. No, that's cooked in the oven. And I got a doggy here that loves them, don't you, buddy? Yes, you do. Yeah, I want one too. Yes, buddy, you do.
But you know what? I'm very high on Trump right now.
All right. So the Mandela effect is real. The Mandela effect is not a fucking figment of my imagination. The Mandela effect is real because you have D-Wave computers that can literally exploit, like Jordy Rose just told you, other realms, other realities, other alternate universes. And so when we get flung into another reality that is different from the one we're currently in, this produces the Mandela effect. Because I'm going to sit here and argue with you all day long that no, there were 6 people in that damn limousine when JFK was shot. Because that was the reality we left, was one that had 6 people in the limo. Now you, in this reality, are going to say, no, there's only 5 in the limo, 4 people in a jump seat, which is really actually relatively new. Because usually it jumps to 4 people from 6 people, then it goes back to 5. But a lot of times it you know, now it's kind of showing up more as 5 people. But anyway, we are literally both right, because in my reality that I just left, it was 6 people in the limo. Your reality, where you've already been here, you know, I'm catching up to you, it's 5 people. We're both right, because it's this, you know, it's a different reality at the same time. I am literally occupying multitudes of multiverses while I sit here. Now, that's hard for people to get. It's like, wait a minute, what? But yeah, really. CERN has a D-Wave computer attached to their Large Hadron Collider. And they also have a fusion generator now, and they also have something else. Shit, I can't think of what the other thing was. Anyway, but they got all this shit hooked up, all right, to their Hadron Collider. So when they turn the Hadron Collider on, what it does is it sends us into one of these multi-billion alternate realities that are just slightly different than the one we're in. Now, you say, well, Vaughn, okay, so I don't wake up in the morning wearing blue socks. I wake up wearing green socks. Big fucking deal. No, it is a big deal. They fling you into another reality, slightly different than the one you were from. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, where did my left sock go? I can't find the sumbitch. Where's my cigarette lighter? I lost my car keys. Now you know why all these things happen, don't you? It's like, oh shit, really? Yeah, really. I mean, what did you think was happening? Did you think there was some kind of invisible monster eating your keys?
FightForWars.com.
Dan, do you remember when Vaughn and John said you tried to kill Vaughn's dogs?
What's this now?
We didn't even say anything like that. You fucking
Yeah, they did say, you guys did say that. You said I tried to kill the dog.
The troll came up with that, man.
The troll said that.
You guys, you guys, Sam even heard it. You guys said I tried to poison the dog somehow through Amazon. Yeah.
What? Whopper, 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 Junior.
Here you go! 1, 2, 3! The PWR has just dropped the legs up. All Ethan Ralph. And the victory goes to the PWR Nation.
All right, so that was some Vaughn highlights. In case you were wondering, yes, Vaughn and John have been streaming. They have another channel, Jews, Pagans, everybody, whatever. I do have access to an unlisted stream, which maybe some of that is from, but they talk about the Rona, and I'm not even going to take a chance on it, so we probably saw the best parts. Let's check up with Emo here.
I'm at a friend's house, freeloading the fuck out of them, not paying rent, not paying the electricity, not paying a fucking dime. Because I don't have the money to pay this guy rent. I don't have the money to pay for his fucking internet. I don't have fucking money to fucking put money on this fucking electric bill. Because all my money is going to the payment on this cock-sucking motherfucking truck. Well, welcome everybody to the new Howling Wolf TV network. So last night, while I was streaming Karen Reed towards the ending of yesterday's proceeding, I fucking Googled Karen Reed on Rumble, and there's about 16 channels on Rumble. All that have like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 800,000. I mean, big channels are on Rumble, and they're streaming it. Now I know why I wasn't getting any action, because I thought I was the only person on Rumble doing it. Wrong. The channel wasn't really getting enough coverage, and that's not why I'm saying no more Karen Reed coverage on my Rumble channel. That's not why I'm saying that at all. It's not because there's competition and everybody's doing it. I didn't care that the other channels were doing it. I just, today I was going to fire up the live stream and do it. Well, I was still going to do it, and I was like, fuck it. If everybody on Rumble's doing it on Rumble and YouTube, I'm going to start streaming it on YouTube. So I changed one of my stock accounts over to the same name I use on Rumble as a YouTube channel. And I got it approved for fucking live streaming. And I was going to be like, okay, well, I'll stream it on Rumble too. I'll just be like everybody else. If they watch it, they watch it. See, and, you know, I was just going to continue to have fun and do it. But here's the fucking problem. And this is why I wish people would have stayed in here. Because here's where we're getting into the main fucking problem. So I started the fucking Karen Reed trial today on Rumble. I started it on Rumble. Got the Rumble live stream going. Fired up the Roku channel live stream. Got that going. Fired up the YouTube live stream, unlisted. And then all of a sudden, right after I started YouTube, the fucking computer shit shuts off, and then I look down, and there's fucking smoke pouring out of the motherfucking computer. So the computer that is in one of my other YouTube videos on the other channel, it says a new addition to the DJ Emo Halamo show. When I bought that computer 8 years ago, it's a Cybertron PC with 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I've had that thing doing 12 live streams at one time without it bogging down. But today, Emo damn near had a fire because the fucking power supply went kapoof. So now I gotta order a power supply. So now I gotta wait. How many more days is it from now to the 3rd?
Oh, God. Today's the 24th. 6, 7, 8, 9.
So I gotta wait 9 fucking days before I get paid. 9 fucking days until I get paid. Then on top of that, it's going to take about another 14 days to get the new power supply. So by the time I order that shit, guess what? Half the Karen Reed trial will be over. There ain't no point in streaming it at that point then, is it? So yeah, the power supply in my fucking computer decided to take a shit this morning. So I went back to the old computer, the 8 gigabytes. Well, you can't run XSplit, stream YouTube, and then restream YouTube through XSplit on an 8 gigabyte computer. I need a 32 gigabyte computer. That's what I fucking need. I need my 32 gigabyte computer. So the computer crashed and burned, people. So because the computer crashed and burned, that means Emo's out. Emo's not going to be able to cover the Karen Reed trial. Sorry about it, but that's what happens when you demonetize. See, now, if I would have been monetized the last 5 fucking years, I could have put money away and bought another computer, couldn't I, trolls? I could have bought another fucking computer and put money away and bought another fucking computer and not be running an 8-year-old piece of shit. But
well, if you were monetized, you'd probably get slapped in the dick for streaming that content on YouTube. Just saying.
no, you faggot trolls decided you thought it would be more fun to get Emo demonetized, so he drove a fucking computer into the fucking ground. That's pretty much what happened. Because that's what real YouTubers do. I bet you the Geek Squad, with all the fucking money they make on streaming other people making fun of Emo, I bet you every 2 years those motherfuckers buy a new computer. I guarantee you that Billy the Fridge every 2 to 3 years is buying a brand new fucking computer just to keep his cash cow coming in, which is making fun of people on YouTube. I could have kept my fucking channel going. But how the fuck am I supposed to keep my fucking channel going when that computer just fucking blew? That computer cost me $3,900 fucking dollars when I ordered it. And let's see. Let's see. So let's see. I got demonetized and let's do the fucking math. I got demonetized in fucking May of 2021. So from May of 2021 to May of 21 to May of 22, that would have been $1,200. Okay? So from May 22 to May 23 would have been another $1,200. So that would have been $2,400. So if it would have been monetized this whole time, I would have had about $3,000 buy another computer. But no, you fucking faggots thought it was funny to make fun of emo for the fucking lols. And this is what I'm telling you when I gotta run shit equipment and I can't upkeep my shit because I'm not bringing in the money and nobody gives a fuck. I'd like to order the fucking power supply today, but I don't have the $120 fucking dollars to order another fucking power supply again today. And even if somebody was to hit my Cash App and say, Emo, here's the $120 for your fucking power supply, I'd still be fucking fucked because it's still gonna take me 14 fucking days to get it. I bet you all these faggots that have a big fucking channel are making all kinds of money. They never fucking, you know, fucking, they never have a problem with we're doing round and rounds in the hospital parking lot because they don't have any fucking parking in here. What they need to do is they need to do at my cancer doctor. They need to level the fucking parking lot and put a fucking parking garage in here. That's what they fucking need to do. They need to fucking level the parking area and put a fucking parking garage. Because that's what the idiots up by one of the Great Lakes did. Now, that might have just doxed my location a little bit, but at least that hospital has a brain and built the fucking parking garage. Where you don't have to do round-arounds for 5 fucking hours looking for a fucking spot. And then you wonder why I get so fucking goddamn pissed that nobody is fucking supporting the channel. This is the shit that I needed demonetization for, and nobody gave me a chance, to save up the money. So now I'm in the goddamn hole where I gotta come up with $120 now to order a motherfucking goddamn power supply that I can't fucking afford because Emo wasn't allowed to have freedom of speech, right? So instead of having the money coming in where I could buy a new PC, no, I gotta run an 8-year-old piece of shit that decided to fucking blow its power supply this morning. And because it blew its motherfucking power supply, I can't stream the rest of the Karen Reed trial. So go watch it somewhere else. Because everybody in that cocksucker is restreaming the fucking Karen Reed trial anyway. I wasn't looking for clicks and views with it anyway. I was just doing it for something to do. I was like, hey, what the fuck? I'm watching it anyway. I'm gonna fucking, stream it too. Right now I got it on pause because I had to get out of the house because I'm so fucking aggravated. Not only when the power supply blew and a whole bunch of smoke came out, but it also scorched the rug. So... And I pulled the computer out from the wall immediately because it was, sitting on the floor. And I had it on 2x4 blocks, by the way. So it just wasn't on carpet sitting on the fucking carpet. Because I know people are going to say, well, the computer doesn't have air, Emo. The fucking power supply is gonna blow up. No, I had it on a couple of 2x, I had it like 4 inches off the carpet. But it actually burnt, the power supply caught fire so hot that it actually fucking singed the carpet a little bit. And I hope the motherboard is alright. I just hope it wasn't hot enough where it cooked the fucking motherboard, because then I'm really fucked. I'm going to buy a power supply and hope it was just a power supply. But imagine if that would have happened while I wasn't home. Makes me wonder if I would have damn near had a fucking fire. But like I said, I'm sure the Geek Squad has no problem buying a computer. I'm sure Tatted Aviator has no problem running right out and buying a computer. I'm sure Masshole Report, that cunt Katie, has all kinds of money to go running out there and buy another computer. But nobody had my back when I was being trolled. Nobody had my back. Now, one goddamn auditor had my fucking back. And I'll tell you what. You know what? You know, I wasn't going to put this out there, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. We'll give you all kinds of money. And I wanted to work this summer. I wanted to be able to buy a new computer. I went to go do their Jacksonville, Florida fucking spot, and they blew me the fuck off. And you want to know what the fucking best part of it is that really fucking pisses me off? You want to know what pisses me off about that? I said, do you know these guys are talking shit about you behind your back? I had his back. I told him people were talking shit behind his fucking back. But when it came to me working for him this summer, did he have my fucking back? No, he didn't have my motherfucking back. I don't talk to backstabbers. So I could have paid this truck off this year. I could have had a new computer this year, but I got fucked over. And they fucked me over. They fucked me over because they knew I needed to make money this year, and they fucked me over. You know what? I'm pissed. I canceled surgery twice for these assholes. And then I had to come home and deal with doctor's appointments. And this is the thanks I get to get fucked over by these people. About Emo Hollowell. Oh, you don't want Emo. You don't want Emo because he hangs out with Rick Berry. Maybe Emo is what Rick Berry's husband is. And they start putting that thought into people's fucking mind. Okay? Oh, you don't want Emo working at a fair because he's a Blancophile. So somebody during that week that I took off ran their fucking flapper. But I'm a real boy. And that was my goal this year. I wanted to pay this truck off. I wanted to buy a new computer. I wanted to pay off all my bills. And I got fucked by these people. I could have still bought a brand new computer if I would have been... I could have still bought a brand new computer if I would have been fucking monetized, right? If I would have been fucking monetized. But nobody gave a fuck about Emo's freedom of speech. They give a fuck about everybody else's freedom of speech. But now, I can't do the Karen retrial because my computer blew up this morning. And I got no money because I'm not Billy the Fridge, a guy who makes fun of people. I'm not Tatted Aviator. I'm not fucking Masshole Report. Where am I supposed to come up with another $3,800 to buy another gaming PC, motherfuckers? But I could have did that. If I was fucking monetized, I could have fucking did that. Oh, and then start it up. We're almost done. I don't know why you shut it off. And then...
Because we're...
I'm burning the fuck up in here. And then... on top of that... I buy it with one of my paychecks from the... because I thought I was gonna... This is what happens every time emo fucking helps somebody. I'm the one that gets fucking fucked. Every time I try to fucking help somebody, I get screwed. And what does emo got? Nothing. A truck that's going to take me to next March to pay it off instead of paying it this fucking year. You know, I don't give a fuck if I shouldn't have put this out. I'm pissed. This is why emo needs money. You're always asking, well, why does emo always need money? Why is it always about the money with them? Because, yes, it's all right for somebody to come on YouTube and run that cocksucker, but they continuously need to buy new computers. They need to continuously buy new fucking phones. Do you know that this is the same fucking phone that I bought after Rockwall? This phone is going on its 6th fucking year. How many times have you changed your phone since 2020? Because you got the money and emo doesn't, right? So I'm really fucking pissed. So no more kind of retrial because now that the computer got fucked, I'm fucked. So everything I wanted to do this year, I wanted to buy a new computer, I wanted to pay off this truck, and I wanted to buy a piece of land somewhere. Yeah, I had a deal to buy a piece of land. Because you know what I wanted to do? I see them on fucking Facebook all the time. They have these armor-built fucking sheds. But instead of them being a fucking shed, you can turn it into a fucking log cabin. I could have paid this truck off, bought a new computer, put a down payment on it, could have bought one of those armor-built fucking tiny fucking homes and put it on the fucking land on its own fucking piece of land. That's what I wanted to do by this year. But no,
I noticed he hasn't mentioned once paying back his debts, like Lady Di. I mean, who really believes he's making enough money on YouTube to do all this shit? Come on, emo. Oops. I put there. Alright. Let's keep going, folks.
I'm at a friend's house, freeloading the fuck out of them. Not paying rent, not paying electricity, not paying a fucking dime. Because I don't have the money to pay this guy rent. I don't have the money to pay for his fucking internet. I don't have fucking money to fucking put money on this fucking electric bill. Because all my money is going to the payment on this cock-sucking motherfucking truck. And this cock-sucking motherfucking truck is eating me the fuck alive. Financially. Because I will never rent the place again. After I got fucked over on Kimball Avenue, I will never rent the fucking place again. I will move into this goddamn truck and live on the goddamn street before I even think about renting the fucking house. Again. But if I was to be on YouTube re-streaming people and reusing other people's content, then I get fucked. But yet the re-streamers of me, there's no karma in it for them. There's no karma in it for the, you know, for their community. Only emo gets fucked. I find that fucking fascinating, people. I absolutely find it fucking fascinating. But I looked to know when karma would come around and start getting these assholes. So God punishes me because I want to take fucking NBC 10's live stream, stream the fucking Karen Reed trial. God and karma, I'll call it God and karma together. I get fucked, my computer goes down, but God never fucks with the people who fuck with me. I don't fucking get it. I'll never understand it. It will never make sense to me. Fuck. Oh yeah, I'm pissed off today. I'm beyond pissed. Can you tell? But EMO puts up a fake fucking PayPal on his fucking YouTube page, and EMO gets called Schemo, a scammer, takes money from old ladies, scheming and conniving. But it's alright for every fucking auditor on YouTube to have their PayPal on their channel, and they don't get bitched about it. They don't get called that they're a schemo. They don't get called that they're stealing money from old ladies. They don't get fucking fucked with. But oh god, EMO puts a fucking PayPal link on his fucking YouTube channel. The whole fucking world we might as well have an earthquake, and the whole fucking world might as well end. Be the star you are, right here at Howling Wolf TV Network.
And let me show you my smiling face.
All right, folks, let's move right along on the Fat Photog catalog here into the Shanny Rub. Now, I haven't watched this yet, and let's give them a thumbs up, folks. That Will, the son, the eldest son, makes an appearance in the chat, and things get a little spicy, folks. So, let's see what's going on.
Last time on Shanny Ball Z.
I've utilized AI. I don't know. It's almost like the thing could get in my head. It's like my writing must be half decent, because I told the thing, based on the plot line and the characters that I have written in my novel, I want you to start generating artwork.
Chance to run, to regroup, to rebuild. We left behind everything. Cities, history, home.
The boys were not taken away 6 to 5 times. That is a lie. Son's texting me.
Is he cool?
Yeah, he said he might come in and say hi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope he does.
Yeah.
We love the boy.
I do. I love William.
He's a fantastic boy. Mm-hmm. And he's an adult now, which is awesome.
I know.
He can speak anything.
I made a man.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get a taste of this bitch.
There you go. Hi, William Bear.
Well, I'm going to give you a link to my thing.
Yeah.
The Gorn Captain has just tipped $2 through Super Chat. Monday is the 17th Anniv of Tento's publication.
There we go. Folks, we have a anniversary coming up. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Thank you for tracking that and sharing, and thank you very much for the Super Chat, folks. If you want to support the channel, of course, we have Super Chats. We got the PayPal link, but just thumbs it up. Just thumbs it up. That just helps my ego. So and that's what's most important. So let's keep going here, folks.
Just playing Minecraft? Yeah. I've never gotten into it. Oh, you told them? Yes, of course. Of course. Happy Easter, Erie pepperoni nipples.
I wanted to get that link.
Oh, okay. The link, will you? Wait, I'm gonna pin it. What I pin, that is the link to Jason's channel. He wants you to look over it because he has a lot of like AI stuff on it. And I know you're, you know, gonna be doing that with your career. AI stuff, what do you mean? You can explain it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's possible because you're smart enough. It has generated its own images and art. So I'm thinking my idea right now is maybe I wouldn't even have to sell it to anybody. I could make the movie myself.
William said, please don't tell me you're using AI generation.
Oh, yeah.
What's the problem with that?
Well, it's like creatively, I don't know, frowned upon by some people.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that I don't have the time to sit down and craft 2 screenplays. I just don't have the time in a day to do that.
Yeah, you work.
Yeah, so I can't do that.
No.
And it did a phenomenal job. So why the hell would I not use it?
Okay, what's the problem with it, Will?
I thought he was pro AI. Like, I'm confused.
It's not a good option. AI steals from artists.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the stuff, this is original.
But
artwork.
isn't altering it, like, okay, so isn't it altering, like, not stealing? It's like, okay, so how does that work exactly? If it, like, alters what the artist originally did.
It has generated stuff that's nowhere.
Is Will the one weirdo Von Helton said was cute? Yeah. And then, and he transformed into watermelon.
Yeah. Like, steals from other people's work. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, like...
The unethical part is that the AI is trained using artwork that they didn't have consent to use.
Will you show me... Okay, then people have to show me this type of fucking artwork. What this is plagiarized from what? That's the
Terminator?
Are you kidding me? It doesn't look anything like Terminator.
I don't know. Will says it takes the stuff from actual artists doing work and brings out stuff copied from it. It is an original. Ah, okay. Pre-planned in one proof is the ability to upload art for free. Okay. Well, all it is concept art that you have.
Yeah. That's the point.
So...
It's understood that this isn't a final version of anything that would come out of it. It's a beginning.
Okay.
It's a first step towards visualizing everything that's in my book. And this thing does it phenomenally well. This fucking poster for the movie looks like somebody worked a year on this.
Yeah.
Wait, have you ever seen anything that looks like that on the internet?
Well, yeah, by other artists.
Not this, not my name with this.
No.
This is my story put into a movie poster.
Ruby says, Rev, don't, as an artist, I'm horribly offended. AI has taken money from me. It's not good.
Well,
Wow.
That's your problem. That's not my problem. If I can utilize... This is really crazy. ChatGPT is a tool that a lot of people use. Are you going to go and say that to Jamez, the guy that does the UFO videos and stuff? Or are you going to say, why are you using ChatGPT?
Will said, yeah, and that's the problem. There's no human input, no soul to it.
I guided this thing
Why are you so angry?
Because this is the stupidest thing I ever heard. This is a good tool for creative people to use to generate stuff because nobody else will work.
Will said, I'm offended too. I'm an artist myself and I greatly dislike it.
Well, nothing here has been stolen from you because you draw cartoons. Nothing of in here looks like a cartoon. Literally, it looks like real people.
I know.
Whatever. I'll just make my million, that's all.
I don't see a problem using it for concept art and stuff, just don't use it in the final product. Okay. Yeah. He just feels bad because he did put a lot of work into these images.
I put a lot of work into everything that I'll put with it. If I didn't put anything in, it wouldn't have generated anything.
Can you listen to this point that Will said? It takes away jobs, it takes away from artists the actual effort they put in. This is what it's about. It's about AI stealing other
Nobody
people's
would work
jobs.
on Tinto. Who the fuck would work on it? There was nobody contacting me for work to do with my book. It took away no jobs. And it outputs something completely unique. Totally and completely unique.
Maya said, I'm looking forward to Rev's project very, very much.
There's a lot to it, I could tell you that. But if it's going to be visualized and successfully put into a movie, I need to sell it.
Will said, you never know. You have to work to find people for that.
I did work to find people for that. No one wants to, unless they know the person or there's some kind of thing they already got in their mind for it. The only people that have read my book are hater assholes, pretty much. Fucking asshole people. I had a lot of friends that were into film, but they never wanted to take the time to work on anything.
Bud Dicker's saying, try to speak nicer to Will, please.
I'm not talking to Will. I'm not talking to anybody.
I keep telling you what Will's saying, and you're, like, yelling.
I'm talking to the open air. If I didn't do what I did, nothing would have happened with this project.
Tina Champa said, couldn't you have had Will do the art?
Oh, my God, no. No way. He's not... I'm sorry. He can draw cartoons. He's good at that. I've never seen him draw a human, and he said he has...
He can draw human...
He said he has problems drawing humans.
What?
I needed ultra-realistic artwork.
I get you.
He can't draw that. He can't draw that. Okay, I could give you an example, and if he could draw something like that, maybe he could work on it.
Will's like, I'm sorry, but you're kind of like targeting me. It seems like you're making
not
up excuses.
I'm telling you that AI is not a violation of anybody, and it does not take jobs away. I didn't. With my project, I took no jobs away because I wasn't having anybody saying, "Hey, could I do some artwork for your project, Tinto?" It hasn't taken a single job away. So I'm done. That's all. I'm not saying anything else. I'll just make the $1 million and then you can inherit it.
There you go.
I thought he said he wanted to work with AI. So whatever.
Well,
I'm just done. I'm done. I'm not going to talk about the project
Okay,
anymore.
so how do you work with AI in regards to art?
A lot of artists are just jealous because it makes things that look better than they can do.
It might be.
That's jealousy.
Yes, it has. So many corporations have fired people for the sake of using AI. Wow.
I don't care. I'm using it for my own personal project, and if somebody wants
Will said I never said that. That's a complete lie. Well, you said you would work with AI.
Yeah, you did.
Never mind. I don't...
We're going to drop all of this. I didn't know that this would...
I don't want to argue with you, honey.
Yeah, I don't want to bring... I had no idea that this would happen bringing this up.
Okay, Will said AI is fine on its own. It's generative AI that takes from other people's art. That is the problem. Ah. Okay. So... Okay, you never said you would work with AI. Okay, I get it. But
He want to go to college for it.
he wants...
Whatever.
I don't like generative AI. That's the end of it. There you go. And Jason finds it a necessity.
No.
For his project.
No. I started this project because of AI.
Now, corn chowder, now you're thinking AI is making a list, listening to us, plotting and lying in wait for the takeover. Exactly. Chow Chowder knows. I would rather have a crap artist doing my concept art than use art generated by a bot. Support human artists, amen. Oh wow, that's where artists are going now.
They can have that attitude, I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm not an artist.
This is fascinating.
Don't know any artists that are capable of doing what I needed, and I used it. And it was a phenomenal idea to use it.
No, cartoon artists are artists, yeah. Look, aside from this conversation in general, I do not like the fact you lied about me saying positive things about AI when I have stated I disliked it for a while now. Maybe not much to you two, but okay. No, Will, you said...
Let's drop it, please. I obviously had the idea in my mind that he was okay with using it. Obviously, he's not, so we're going to move on. Let's drop it now.
No.
Let's go to Foodie Beauty.
I think it's probably because... I don't want to talk for you.
No.
Why do you dislike AI so much?
Because it steals from people's work. In his opinion, there is absolutely nothing that looks like that that's been created on the internet. But it steals from people's work and whatever other thing, purist bullshit. I don't know any artists, and it turned out to be a great artist, AI.
AI took $15,000 commission from me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Ruby.
Yeah, be angry about that. That's fine. That's
yeah,
gonna happen, though.
Fuck AI. I'm Sarah Connor, so...
You can say fuck it all you want as you make the money from
it. Will... Jason, can you please give Will an apology for the tone in your voice?
Oh my god, no. I didn't say anything bad.
Oh god.
I wasn't talking to him.
Yes, you were, because
No,
I
I
was
wasn't.
keep saying what Will was saying and you were arguing with him.
And all of it was his opinion.
So you were arguing with him?
No, I wasn't arguing with him. I was saying my view on it. I said my view, and he was pro-AI. He used to be. If he isn't now, that's his choice. Fine. I will not talk to him about this project anymore, and he doesn't have to click on the page or anything. You could unpin that if you want. I am going to use AI exactly how it's worked for me, and it continues to work for me very well to build a universe.
Okay.
That's the end of the story.
You know what? I'm going to give mods to William.
Yeah. He should have mods if he's going to be in here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good job, dude. I am proud of you for sticking up for yourself. But, why didn't I read what he said? Because someone may react very harshly to said thing.
He's a fucking kid. Do you think I care?
Well, do you know what William said? You need to apologize. Okay, can you listen? Instead of... Okay.
I haven't said anything.
Can you not be defensive?
I haven't said anything wrong.
Well, William said if this is seriously how you still argue to people by making up BS, then I'm sorry. But I'm starting to lose a lot of respect for you.
Said he was
I do not like liars, regardless if you are my parent or not. Do not shove words into my mouth.
You said you would work with AI. End of story. You said it. You don't feel that way anymore?
Do you not? Okay.
So that's fine. Just drop it.
All right.
Drop it now.
I'm not doing anything.
Well, let him bitch then. Because what was said was said.
Will you stop being...
You let your son get away with anything anyway. You would.
He's not doing
He's lying
anything.
In the chat. He said he would work with AI in the past. And he was excited about it. So I don't give a shit what the kid says. He said that. If he wants to deny saying that now, he can. That's his business. I'm not arguing. Move on. Let's just do the foodie thing. Let's just move on.
Did you take your meds?
Yeah. There it is again.
Well, you seem to have a lot of anger.
I don't have any anger.
Then why are you sounding like this?
Because he's acting like a bitch. He said he would work with AI.
Don't call my son a bitch.
He's acting like a little bitch.
You're... I'm... Jason William Egroff.
He is. He is.
Yeah. There's only one bitch right now, and it isn't him.
No, because it's him. Fuck you, Shannon. He said it, and you know he said it.
You don't call my son a bitch.
He was a bitch. He's acting like a bitch.
No, you're acting like a bitch.
Yeah, because it's me. Fuck you, Shannon. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You take his side if he killed someone.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
you
You're
would.
being rude.
I'm not being rude. I said my view on AI, and he said his.
You're being rude.
We're done. Have to apologize for nothing. I don't think so. Not anymore.
Yeah, if someone talked to you like that, you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, whatever. I wasn't talking to him.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I have one last statement on this, and then we move on. Okay? If the tone was however you want to feel the tone was...
You called him a bitch.
Yeah, I did just now. Because he's acting like one. But anyway...
I disagree.
He is being a bitch.
Can you go away?
So, we're done with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say...
I need a break from you.
I'm going to say that he said it to us in conversation, that he would use AI, and he was enthusiastic about it. That obviously is no longer the case. So if there was a bad tone he felt or whatever, I apologize for that. But you did say it. Period. Now I'll go
Trust
away.
me, I'm trying not to have him end up in the hospital.
Fuck you. People are assholes. Fuck all of you. The hospital. My ass. I'll leave.
God, he's an asshole. Wow. You can't apologize for calling my son a bitch.
I just apologized.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
If that what you call an apology?
I already did.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a shit apology.
I don't care.
Zup Wookie, how are
I
you?
didn't even do anything wrong. I did absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing. I apologize for any bad tone I had. That I can say. I should never have a bad tone with anyone.
No. This story is like everything to you, and you're willing to insult people, call people names, and treat people like shit over your story.
My story wasn't
well, your
in my
story
head at
can
all.
go fuck itself if it's gonna cause you
My story
to treat
didn't
people
do
like
anything.
shit.
My story didn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it obviously has.
Somebody is dishonest. And you know you heard him say he'd use AI. You know.
Will said, you're missing the point. It's a fact you're completely ignorant to any form of criticism and would rather lie to my face.
I don't care about your criticism. I was asking you if you maybe would want to have a part in what I'm creating. That was the only thing I said. I wouldn't want you to be a part of it now, to be honest. So forget it. Let's just move on. We were supposed to be watching Foodie Beauty anyway. That's what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Well, you wanted to bring up your fucking story again.
Yeah, for my
now,
son that I thought was pro creating with AI, which he's not. I didn't know that. He said he was.
I agree with that, Andy. There's no reason to get so hostile over the difference of an opinion.
I didn't get hostile. I gave my opinion, period.
Yeah.
I gave my opinion. And it's a brilliant creation device. If you don't have anybody that can do that type of artwork. I don't. I don't know anybody that could draw realistically like that. No one.
No, that's really... Will said, why would I want to be part of a project where you'd rather rely on AI than using the hard work of actual artists?
Yeah, good. I don't care. I don't want you a part of it, so forget it.
I don't want to be a part of it either.
Yeah, well then I will not give you or him any money from it. So there you go. This is good. We're getting sorted out things out here that I didn't even know about.
So Rev's opinion is to call Will a bitch. Wow. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he is a bitch. He's acting
No,
like
he's
a
not
bitch.
a bitch.
He's
Stop calling
acting
my
like-
son
he's
a
acting
bitch.
like a bitch.
No, you're acting like a bitch.
You can fuck yourself, Shannon.
I
And
will
don't wanna-
fuck myself rather than
Yeah,
you
I don't
for
wanna
calling
have
my son a
anything to-
bitch.
I don't want to have anything to do with your showing.
Well, good.
So if there was ever any wonder what life would be like if the children had remained in the house, this gives you a sense of, you know, the type of family interaction that would be taking place if the kids were in fact still in the home every day.
Good. I don't want you to do anything of it if this is how you treat people who come on here. Especially my son. Why did you do that?
Because he's acting like a bitch.
No, you're acting like a bitch. Grow a pair, people. Jason.
I'm no longer being a part of your show. So.
Good.
Now you can have him as your co-host.
Will said, then find some. It's not that difficult, Dad. I have an entire team with me working on entire games. If you can do that before I can turn 18, then you can find someone to help you.
Fuck. What a piece of shit, kid. Ungrateful little fuck that I took in when he was 9. What an ungrateful.
I don't know if he's taking his pills. I keep asking if he's taking his pills, and he's acting like he's not.
You want me to take extra pills?
I'm so sorry, William. You don't deserve to be treated this way. I'm so sorry, William. I didn't think he'd continue to treat you like this. I'm so sorry. It's not right. I'm so sorry, William. You deserve better than to be treated like that. I don't know why he's like this. I don't know why he's acting like this. It's like ever since he got like in talking to this AI and about this book thing, he's been acting really fucking nutty.
Next time on Shanny Ball Z.
I said it in chat and I'll say it again here. I'm sorry for any feelings of strife that came. I apologize for that. And to William, I apologize for that.
How about calling him a name?
Yeah, sure. I apologize for that too. Sure.
Yeah.
That's just childish to call names.
Yeah.
That's
over an opinion.
No, I wasn't even talking to him. I was talking about AI in general.
Oh my god.
I was talking about AI in general.
And then you called him a bitch.
Yeah, and that's not right. I apologize for that. That's shitty.
All right, so that's that. Let's get back to the Von Helton catalog here, folks. Sorry, I'll turn my mic actually towards me so you can hear me. There we go, folks. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Oh, that's the one we watched. That one's like an hour long. I don't know. You guys know if there's anything good in any of these? Here he's going on about the Jews again. Probably skip that for... Well, what the hell? We'll give it a chance. If it sucks, we'll just go on to the next one. You know how we do here, folks. We'll scan ahead. What is going on? Alright, let's see if we can get up here. Bypass the... Oh. I see a wild Von Helton.
About why we even have nipples, because
Whoa.
we don't have memory glands. Why the fuck we have a nipple?
Good question. Alright, let's go to the back.
And here we are.
Folks.
Once again, once more into the breach. And the very first thing, when I go on to X Twitter, very first thing I see is a picture of a man attempting, and I emphasize the word attempting, to breastfeed a child. And they say, why is it attempting? Because men don't have memory glands. In fact, there was a heated discussion a few years back about why we even have nipples, because we don't have memory glands. Why the fuck we have a nipple? So there was a big heated discussion about that. It went on for a long time even. So yeah, this is insanity, and it's this type of insanity that is, what we got to deal with. And but yeah, the very first thing I saw when I logged on to X Twitter was a man trying to breastfeed a child. And it's like, man, this is definitely not the America I grew up in. It is definitely not. It is definitely not the America I grew up in. Not even close. Not even close. And then I go into the kitchen, and in the midst of being in the kitchen, I hear on the TV from some pundit or maybe even a Trump person said, oh, yeah, man, we're restoring the power back to the American people. No, you're not. The fuck you are. Have you repealed the Act of 1871? No. Have you repealed the Act of 1913? No. So is this country in control of the American people? Fuck no. This country is in the control of the globalists. And until those two acts are repealed or they're circumvented or, some other way, the globalists are still in control. Rothschild is still in control. I assure you, the Rothschild family is not the least bit worried about what Trump is doing. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I am out of tea. So I'm going to go get some tea. I will be right back. But yeah, I mean, Trump's not worried. He's not worried a bit. Rothschild. Rothschild is not worried. He's not worried in a bit, in the least, about what Trump is doing because Trump works for Rothschild. Because Trump is a Jew. I will be right back. It was a jolt to me because that's not normal. Okay, that's abnormal behavior. That's what we put people in mental institutions for. What we don't put people in mental institutions for is exercising their freedom of religion and, by coming up with a new religion called freedom religion where they believe they've tapped into the true gods of creation. That's what you don't put people in an institution for. But you certainly put them in an institution if they're trying to breastfeed with no mammary glands. Seems a little difficult, don't you think? What part of XX chromosome and XY chromosome do you not fucking understand? Every motherfucker that gets on the goddamn internet has flunked basic biology class. Every son of a bitch on the fucking internet has flunked basic biology class. Every single fucking one of them. Because if you can't tell the difference between XX and XY chromosomes, you don't deserve to be talking shit about anything regarding biology. Nothing. Now, there are those rare occasions where you have a YY, but they're extremely rare. Usually it's XX and XY. But there is a YY out there. I have to admit that. But it's very, very rare. Anyway, I now have an iced tea, so... Yes, indeed. So, that was kind of a jolt this morning. That was quite the jolt this morning, seeing that shit. And it's like, okay. Well, I'm awake now, huh? And then we're going to talk about yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now I need to know they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. That is an old Beatles tune for those of you that are too young to understand what the hell I just did. What I just did was called karaoke. It's where we sing songs from years and years ago, minus the vocal part. Anyway, because a lot of people didn't even know what karaoke... there's young people out there right now that does not know what karaoke is. It's like, what the fuck? Really? But yeah, there really is. And our wonderful public school system is no longer teaching kids how to write cursive, which means they cannot write a check. They cannot sign a legal document.
Sorry Wilson has just tipped $2 through Super Chat. Vaughn wins basic biology, 47 out of 46.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wilson. Good to see you around. And yeah, Vaughn, basic biology, still trying to figure out why men have nipples. So let's.
And they're going to find themselves in a lot of hot water because you can't just put a fucking X on a legal document. You have to sign that thing. All right. And if you can't sign it, it's not legal. If you cannot sign the document, it's not legal. Also, too, if you don't pay for whatever it is you're signing for, that's not legal either. Okay? Because when you sign a legal document, you're signing it with the expectation to pay for that item that you're signing for. It's an expectation, right? So if you haven't paid for it, but you sign all the documents, it's still not yours. Not legally. I mean, you can sit there and claim it belongs to you all day long, but that doesn't make it yours, right? No. You have to actually pay for the thing, okay? And a lot of people don't get that either. But it doesn't matter because now you can't sign legal documents. Not without cursive, you can't. And they're not teaching the kids cursive. So the kids are going to be screwed. They're going to be totally screwed, man. They're not going to be able to sign a check. They're not going to be able to sign a legal document. And then when that time comes, they're going to be totally messed up, man. Totally messed up. Now, supposedly, we are dismantling the Board of Education. I think that's long overdue. Putting something in the hands of the government that did not belong there has been an absolute disaster. We are literally last in everything. Last in math, last in science, last in language, we're literally last in every category regarding schooling. And what are you barking at, Sharpie? Who knows? Barking at something, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so we are literally dead last. And this is why everybody's calling for the dismantling of the Department of Education, because we're dead last in the world. It'd be different if we were somewhere in the middle or some shit. But we're not even that. We're literally dead last. And that's, when you've got the Democratic Republic of the Congo in a higher category in schooling than the United States, something's bad wrong. Bad wrong. So, yeah, we're going to dismantle the Department of Education completely, get rid of it because it's obviously a failed program, and then put all the schooling back to the states and see if the states can handle it any better, because apparently the federal government cannot. Okay, we are literally dead last in every category when it comes to schooling, and it's horrible. We should not be that way. We should be number one in schooling, not dead last. And so let's see here now. Before I get started, there was something I wanted to do before I got into the main topic. So let me try to refresh my memory on what that was. Because seeing that picture this morning was quite a jolt for me. I'm sorry, it was. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah. All right. I am going to remind you about the Mandela effect and CERN and the D-Wave computer stuff. I'm going to remind you of that because we just had a very shocking admission from the Trump administration. But before we do that, I want to show Jordy Rose's video again so that y'all can get up to speed on what the hell I'm talking about. Let's see where it's at here. There it is.
But before I do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about quantum computers and why people...
All right. So the Mandela effect is real. The Mandela effect is not a fucking figment of my imagination. The Mandela effect is real because you have D-Wave computers that can literally exploit, like Jordy Rose just told you, other realms, other realities, other alternate universes. And so when we get flung into another reality that is different from the one we're currently in, this produces the Mandela effect. Because I'm going to sit here and argue with...
Sorry Wilson donated $5 through Super Chat. So when Vaughn signed away his parental rights, did he do it in cursive?
A very good question. I would say, yeah. I mean, his penmanship isn't so bad. I've seen some of his writing. You'd be surprised. But very, very good question. Thank you very much, Wilson.
You all day long that no, there were 6 people in that damn limousine when JFK was shot. Because that was the reality we left, was one that had 6 people in the limo. Now you, in this reality, are going to say, no, there's only 5 in the limo, 4 people in a jump seat, which is really actually relatively new, because usually it jumps to 4 people from 6 people, then it goes back to 5. But a lot of times it now it's kind of showing up more as 5 people. But anyway, point being, that's going to be and we're both right. We are literally both right, because in my reality that I just left, it was 6 people in the limo. Your reality, where you've already been here, I'm catching up to you, it's 5 people. We're both right, because it's this, it's a different reality at the same time. I am literally occupying multitudes of multiverses while I sit here. Now that's hard for people to get. It's like, wait a minute, what? But yeah, really. It is as Jordy Rose just told you, it is an infinite number of realities. Now, I said all that and showed you his video to show you this, because this is going to blow your mind. Now, this is official. I'm assuming this is an official release from the Trump administration. This is going to blow your mind, boys and girls. Here we go. Let me pull it up here. Alex Jones has already talked about it. Some other people have talked about it. But no, I'm going to talk about it, because you're going to get the truth from me, not their spin. DailyMail.com. U.S. government announced that it has achieved the ability to manipulate space and time with new technology. Did you get that? Let's read that one more time. The U.S. government announces it has achieved the ability to manipulate space and time with new technology. Well, of course. It's called the D-Wave computer. It's called the D-Wave computer. And I forgot to set up the audio, because we are going to listen to this one. We are going to listen to this one. And if somebody wants to flag me, well, just flag away, motherfuckers, because we're going to listen to this video. Yes, we are. We're going to listen to it.
The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter, and then making it harder and harder to build.
Play half of it because of a stupid ad. Okay, never mind. Hang on. Let me get back to it. I didn't even play half of it. I didn't even play a piece of it. It's because of that stupid ad in the middle. Let's try again. Anyway, you heard what the man said. So, in fact, let me refresh this so we can listen to it again. Let me try this again so we can listen to him. I don't know why the dog's barking. I can't see nothing out there. I don't see nothing out there at all. Nothing.
The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter, and then making it harder and harder to build. We seem to have lost focus and vision.
Computer. CERN has a D-Wave computer attached to their Large Hadron Collider. And they also have a fusion generator now, and they also have something else. Shit, I can't think of what the other thing was. Anyway, but they got all this shit hooked up, all right, to their Hadron Collider. So when they turn the Hadron Collider on, what it does is it sends us into one of these multi-billion alternate realities that are just slightly different than the one we're in. Now, you say, well, Vaughn, okay, so I don't wake up in the morning wearing blue socks. I wake up wearing green socks. Big fucking deal. No, it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Because you could wake up one morning and your wife is not laying in the bed. You're like, holy shit, where's my wife? You go into the bedroom to check your kids are not there either. It's like, uh-oh. And so you ask your friend, you say, hey man, have you seen my wife today? He's like, wife, you've never been married. Oops. Surprise, motherfucker. Now, there haven't been any cases of that I'm aware of, but is it possible? Yeah, very possible. The reality you were in, you were married. The reality that CERN flung you into, which produces a Mandela effect, you're not married. So you keep running around saying, I'm married. And so they call the men in white coats, so throw you in the paddy wagon and take you off to the funny park. Where everything is happy, happy, joy, joy. Get it now? Now I know this is a bombshell. I realize that this is a bombshell for a lot of you. That a lot of you is like, no, man, this shit can't be real. Well, I'm sorry, but it is. Has been real for years. We've been screaming about the Mandela effect for how many years now? And we were totally 100% right. Let me pull that back up again, actually. Because that's pretty bizarre. We'll read a little bit of that, I think. Because that is pretty bizarre. That it's a shock to some people's system that are not used to it. Get out of my face. Everybody that told you about the Mandela effect was telling the truth. They fling you into another reality, slightly different than the one you were from. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, where did my left sock go? I can't find the sumbitch. Where's my cigarette lighter? I lost my car keys. Now you know why all these things happen, don't you? It's like, oh shit, really? Yeah, really. I mean, what did you think was happening? Did you think there was some kind of invisible monster eating your keys? You know, because let's say, okay, in this reality, now, Vaughn, how does this work? In this reality, I left my car keys on the kitchen table. In this reality, my car keys are on the nightstand. Get it? Lost my car keys. Can't find my car keys. Well, of course not. Because in this reality, you left your car keys on the kitchen table, and in this reality, you left your car keys on...
So Vaughn will scoff at the idea of an invisible monster eating your car keys. Of course, obviously, you're shifting realities, dimensions, folks. It wouldn't be just that you misplaced your car keys. Maybe you always put them in one spot, but that one time you put them somewhere different, and you misremembered. It couldn't be just not remembering correctly, right? Obviously, it's D-Wave computers, CERN, and shifting dimensions. That's why Vaughn in another reality convinced himself he has a big dick, and in this reality, you know, sadly, I'm just saying.
On the nightstand. That's why you can't find your damn keys. It's not your fault. It's because they keep fucking around with shit and throwing us into these alternate realities and messing you up. That explains cigarette lighters, car keys, left socks. Why left socks, I do not know, but left socks. No, it explains a lot of shit, doesn't it? Explains why, you know.
What is a left sock versus a right sock? Anyways, I'm not 100% sure on that either.
I know there's 6 people in the limo, and you believe there's 4 people in the limo. The Mandela effect. And for whatever reason, I have yet to fully understand, but for whatever reason, the Zapruder film, the film about the death of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, is somehow a canary in the coal mine. You can actually go and watch the Zapruder film, and if the Zapruder film has changed from what you remember, they flung us into another reality. For example, let's say I believe that CERN turned on their Large Hadron Collider, turned on the D-Wave computer, turned on the fusion reactor, and flung us into an alternate reality. Let's say I believe that. So what I do is I go online, I go to the Zapruder film, and I watch the Zapruder film and see how many people's in the limo. If there are still 6 people in the limo, I'm good. However, if I watch the Zapruder film this time and there's only 5 in the limo, 4 in a jump seat, or even just 4 in the limo, something happened. What happened was CERN turned on their Large Hadron Collider, turned on the D-Wave computer, turned on the fusion reactor, and flung us into a slightly alternate reality to the one we were in. Ever so slightly. So, now you know, right? Now you know why you can't find your car keys. Now you know why you lost your cigarette lighter. But the nice thing is, it's not your fault. That's the nice thing about it. It's not your fault. Now, I know that this is boggling people's minds right about now, especially at 3:20 in the morning. But it's important to understand. You know, you got the Trump administration now admitting, we got the technology. So it's out of the bag now, you know. It's out of the bag now. And what this means is all kinds of things, you know, all kinds of things. But now that the Trump administration has admitted it, Geordie Rose has said it live on stage in front of a whole crowd of people. Yeah, this stuff is real. It's not a figment of my imagination. Von Helton is not crazy. Von Helton has never been crazy. And so the next time you can't find your keys, now you know why. Because the you in this reality left them on the nightstand or on the kitchen table, and the reality the you in this reality left them on the nightstand. One left them on the kitchen table, one left them on the nightstand. Still you, but 2 different realities, producing 2 different results. So you didn't lose your keys. It's just you put them in a different spot than when you did in the other reality. You get it? Now, does this mean that every time you can't find a cigarette lighter or every time you can't find your keys that they've turned on that stupid machine? No, not necessarily. I mean, sometimes you can just really forget where you left your keys. But, you know, but those rare occasions where you really, really look all over and you can't find the damn things, probably. Pardon moi. Hello, Brittany. So yeah, that's the appetizer for what we're going to talk about, because this might even end up being a mini rant, because, you know, I am a historian. I am an amateur archaeologist, cryptozoologist, a purveyor of truth, a defender of the founding fathers, which, by the way, I encourage every American to read the Federalist Papers and the Anti-Federalist Papers. It's very important that you do so. And so, you know, yesterday was the anniversary of the ride of Paul Revere. The British are coming, you know, that guy. And I just, you know, all this all this pomp and ceremony regarding Trump, Trump is restoring it back to the people, and it's a new revolution, and they got them all dressed up in revolutionary garb and stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't think the founders are pleased with that, but what can I say? I can only suggest. But but the thing, the takeaway for me, and the big thing for me is that we haven't repealed the Act of 1871. We haven't repealed the Act of 1913. And it's important to repeal those two acts in order to break the power that globalists have over the United States. Because if you don't do that, you're not restoring power back to the people now, are you? No, of course not. Of course not. And so, it's really, I think it's an insult, to portray Trump in revolutionary gear, saying it's a second revolution. He's let me pull some of this shit up, because it's better to show you than tell you. It's just much better to show you than tell you. Because I'm reading some of this and looking at some of this, and it's like, man, that's got to be insulting. It's got to be. It just seems like it to me. But let me see here. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, groovy. All right, so let's do it again. You go back, Jack, do it again. We're turning round and round. You're going back, Jack, do it again. Yeah, there's one. Let's show that. Just stuff like this.
Someone get a hold of
really,
Chivia now.
I don't think it's.
CRYIN has just donated $2. We also turned on the machine and we removed VONHELTON's children. Oh wait, we didn't need a Hadron Collider to do that.
Just the left one. Just the left one. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that, folks. VONHELTON. What can I say? Let's keep going.
Appropriate. But, people are going to do whatever they want to do, stuff like this here. Welcome to the revolution. Okay, well, what revolution? What is the revolution? Tell me what the revolution is. Because we're not getting rid of our masters, which is what the revolution is supposed to be about. A real revolution is where you get rid of your overlords, where you get rid of people that are controlling and manipulating you. That is a revolution. We are not in a revolution. We are not getting rid of the globalist control over the United States. Because if we were, we would repeal the Act of 1871 and the Act of 1913. And we would do so outright. Now, one might could argue that maybe we're doing an end run around those two things. Maybe, but that's a hell of a lot more work than just repeal the damn things. I don't understand why we can't just get Congress and the Supreme Court to kowtow to the Constitution and repeal these unconstitutional things. Because the Act of 1871, folks, and the Act of 1913 are unconstitutional. The Act of 1871 established the District of Columbia, a literal country within a country, which is completely and wholly unconstitutional. And not only that, but gave it its own government, its own laws, and everything. And unfortunately, those things eventually can engulf the entirety of the United States, to where that now the laws that apply to DC also apply to the rest of the country. So there's that, and that is completely and wholly unconstitutional. Then you've got the Act of 1913, which gave the globalists control over our money, Rothschild in particular. And that is wholly and solely unconstitutional, because the Constitution says that Congress shall coin money interest-free. Not some private European banker who happens to be a Jew, by the way, who charges us 23% interest every time they print our money. Okay, so yeah, it's wholly and totally unconstitutional. But yet the Supreme Court and the Congress, after all these years, have not repealed them. Why? Well, that's a good question. I wished I had a good answer. Unfortunately, I do not. I do not have a good answer for that, I'm afraid. But what I can say is that I think the founders would be a little upset over these pictures. Now we got this. Okay. All right. Let me grab this. There we go. Read it with me, class. We of the Israeli God strung me from the highest tree. That's exactly what they would have fucking done. Because that's treason. That's treason. You either serve America or not. And if you're not going to serve America, you need to get the fuck out of my country. Period. End of story. But see, this is what this is the problem that we have. You know, sitting there spreading false truths and hopium, as they like to use the word now. The word is hopium now. You know, where you're giving a false sense of hope. Oh yeah, man, we're returning the power back to the people. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just read 3 Jews that said, no, Israel controls America, motherfuckers. Not you. You don't control shit. You don't control a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Nice to believe that if you did, but I mean, you don't. Sorry. Don't own shit. Don't control shit. Go look at the title of your property. See what it says. Does it say owner? No, it doesn't, does it? It says tenant. Which means you don't even own your own damn property in this country. Now, there is talk of them getting rid of property taxes so that you ain't paying for something over and over and over again to the tune of thousands of dollars. That's a good idea. Is it ever going to be implemented? Well, I'm still waiting. How about you? Still waiting for it to be implemented. Still waiting for the Epstein list. Still waiting for the Diddy list. Still waiting for the JFK files. Where are they at? I haven't seen them. You know, there's a lot of fakers out there. I've got the list. And then you go and check and it's, no, that ain't the list. It's a bunch of bullshit. You know, where's the real list as put out by the Trump administration? You know, I mean, I'll take something that's heavily redacted at this point because I ain't seen nothing, man. You know, MLK, RFK, where, you know, Sonny Bono, where's the info on his death? Now the FBI says, well, we can't give you the information on Seth Rich. Oh, okay. Okay, why not? Reasons, right? Reasons. Reasons, everybody. Reasons. And then, you know, people say, oh, well, that's a load of horseshit, Bon. You're exaggerating. You're bloviating. You're whatever. Oh, wait. There's Elise Stefanik right there. She's got an AIPAC handler. Pro-Israel lobby. There she is. And there's Bernie Moreno, Ohio Senator. Byron Donalds, a world and in the business world. All right. Well, gee, Von, what are humans in the finance world and business world? We're called monsters. We're called monsters. Have you ever wondered why you always seem to be spinning your wheels? You never really get anywhere. And that's why, because you're a monster. You can't do shit. Have you noticed that a lot of people now, they go out and they get incorporated, or they'll get an LLC or something like that, or an estate, Why do they do that? They do that because those are considered legal entities in the eyes of the courts, in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of finance. You are nothing. You have no power. You have no rights. You have no laws. You have no nothing. So in order to be legitimate, in order to be a real person, what do? You got to go out and you got to get an estate. You got to get an LLC, or you got to be incorporated or something. Something that the legal system and finance system recognizes as a human being. Then you're legal. Then you're somebody. Of course, then that's when they attack and they try to destroy you. So he goes, hey, he's somebody now. We got to go after him. All right? Did you notice that as soon as I got my estate from the courts, bam, here they come. Trying every way they can to muddle up my estate. Why? Because the estate is a legal entity. The estate is a real person. I am nothing. You are nothing. But once you get an LLC or an incorporation or an estate or some other kind of legal entity, then you're a danger to them, because then you have power. Then you have recognition. Then you are a real person. And that's when they come after you. As soon as you become a real person, they'll start coming after you, man. Oh, well, you got to pay for this, and you got to pay for that, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. Oh, we forgot to tell you, you also got to do this, and you also got to do that, and you got to pay us. You know, done on purpose. It's done on purpose. So this bullshit lie here, because that's exactly what it is. It's a bullshit lie. This bullshit lie right here is exactly that. It's a lie. It is not real. It is not true. We are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to the American people. No, you are not. No, you are not. No, you are not. Because people in the business world, the finance world, are corporations, LLCs, that sort of thing. In other words, America is a corporation. It's been a corporation since 1871. And until feckless Congress and feckless Supreme Court decide that they're going to actually defend the Constitution and repeal those two acts, the acts of 1871 and the act of 1913, we are under the thumb of the globalists. That is never going to change until we repeal those two acts. Period. End of story. Now, once we repeal those two acts, then everything will be just hunky-dory. Yes, I know I'm over an hour. It's like, you're over an hour? Okay, I'm over an hour. I'll get there. But you know, this it's a blatant lie. Hang on, Sharpie. It's a blatant lie to make that kind of assumption. Oh, it's a second revolution. Oh, we're getting ready for the... Okay, Sharpie. Let me let Sharpie out. Hang on. What do you want? There's nothing out there. Or do you have to pee? Do you have to pee? Is that what it is? I think you have to pee. Wore an Israeli uniform in Congress, and nobody did shit. Nobody's going to do shit either. They're not. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to do a damn thing, man. Joe Biden. Here's the big one. 5,736,701. Well, we're going back to the people. Everything's going back to the people. No, it ain't. That's a lie. John Fetterman, $244,100. Brian Mast, that's the same guy again. We already looked at him. Let's see here. Or maybe that was a different, that might have been a different occasion. Because I guess there's probably more than one, huh? Tom Cotton, $1,197,989 from Israel. Bought and paid for. Oh, yeah. Alyssa Slotkin, Democrat. $671,860. Now, you notice that it's the Democrats and the Republicans, right? You notice it's Democrats and Republicans, right? Right. It's independents and Republicans. Independents, Republicans, Democrats. It's all of them. It's all of them. That's them. Not great. They literally control everything. Everything and everyone. Rudy Yakim. Rudy Yakim. Now let me ask you a question, Americans. Yakim, what name is that? You guys couldn't figure out that's a, I mean, I don't even have to Google it. I know that's a Jewish name. Now, why are you patriotic Americans voting for someone who is not an American? Jews are not Americans, folks. They are part of what's called a diaspora. You might want to look that word up. I know the trolls are Googling as fast as they can go. But yeah, you look up the word diaspora. Jews are part of the diaspora. They are not American citizens. They have no country. Their country is provided for them by God, which has already been done, by the way, but they refuse to leave the United States because they're making shit tons of money. But now anybody with a half a brain can figure out that Yakim is a Jewish name. But yet y'all voted him into office. Why? He does not represent you. He doesn't represent Protestant Christians. He doesn't represent pagans like myself. No, he does not. He's a Jew. He's going to represent Jews, maybe Catholics, but he's not going to represent you or me, Protestants and pagans. No, he is not. So why did you vote for his ass? Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that, America? He doesn't represent us. This nation was founded by Protestants and pagans fleeing the Catholic Church and the Church of England. That's the truth. That's not Von Helton's opinion. That's the truth. America was founded by Protestants and pagans, not by Catholics, not by Jews, and not by Muslims. This nation was founded by Protestants and pagans. That's the truth. But you guys are voting for these people. You know, maybe look into them a little more, I guess. I don't know. But Yakim, I mean, that should have been so bleeding obvious. There's no way in hell you could not know that was a Jewish name. No way. I don't need to Google that one. I know that's a Jewish name. So why in the hell are you guys voting for these people and putting them in office, knowing damn good and well that they don't represent you? They represent Jews, maybe a few Catholics, but they represent Jews. They represent the nation of state of Israel. They don't represent you. But yeah, you guys keep putting the motherfuckers in there. Why? Why you keep doing that? Why you keep doing that shit, man? I don't get it. Help me to understand why you would vote for people that don't represent you. You know, help me to understand that shit. Because I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding it at all. Help me to understand it. And like I already said, there is no such thing as anti-Semite. Because they're not real. The Jews of today are not real any more than the man on the moon. They're not. I'm sure they'd like to be, but nope, sorry, they're not. Sorry about that. Sorry about your luck. They want to really bad, I imagine. I imagine they want to really bad. But anyway, it is 10 after. It's 10 minutes after the hour. I overstayed my welcome over 10 minutes, I guess, but whatever. But hey, you know, I just don't like the deception of it. You know, deception comes from where, class? Demons and evil spirits. That's right. Comes from demons and evil spirits. All right. And so I don't like deception. I don't like lying. I don't like much of anything, actually. I'm starting to sound like Francis. I hate this. I hate that. I hate that. You know. But Francis from Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead 1. Either one. He's in both. Anyways, I am going to get out of here and went. Oh, Cleveland Clinic is now finally decided to release their study that they've been hoarding back all these years. And as you're probably not going to be surprised by, it turns out that the vaccine was killing more people than COVID. Wow.
All right, so it's time to switch it up, I think. Yeah, let's leave it on that note. You had to sneak that in at the end. So let's go to the newest one. 20 hours ago, so it was technically released, I guess, on the 24th when we started this. We have now crossed the threshold in Eastern Standard Time. We are in the next day, so yeah. So let's see what Von's got to say in this one. Folks.
You know, Tucker Carlson had an interview with someone who was talking about the subject of geoengineering. And, of course, Bill Gates is swartay into that type of environment back in, what was it? I don't know. It was years ago when I first reported that Bill Gates wanted to literally blot out the sun. Now, of course, this is the stupidest thing that anybody on the planet could ever think of. And anybody that does propose such an idea needs to be locked up in a rubber room. But Bill Gates proposed it anyway because, hey, he's a billionaire and nobody will throw his ass in prison. So he came up with this long ago. I reported on it. Everybody poo-pooed. Oh, everybody laughed at me. Oh, Bun, you're exaggerating. He can go to really blah. Well, guess what? Here we are years and years later, and yeah, they really are going to do it. He's hooked up with Harvard, and Harvard is going to do several experiments before they actually do the real dirty. And so, yeah, it's a scary situation because, you know, if this idiot is successful in blotting out the sun, all the plants on Earth will die because plants require photosynthesis in order to live. They must have the sun. Well, if the sun is blotted out, they're not going to get any sunlight at all in some cases, or they're not going to get enough sunlight to survive, and they will die. Now, when all the vegetation on planet Earth is dead, then all the animals will follow, and then we will soon follow after the animals. This is called common sense. And so, you know, it has become very alarming to me. Now, of course, I have been perusing the net, which is why I'm a little late getting here this morning, because I wanted to make damn sure that, you know, hey, you know, is this, you know, this ain't some kind of scam or something. But no, it's real. Now, you know, you've got the fact checkers and you got the talking heads and you got the pundits. And they're saying, oh, Bon, you're exaggerating, Bon. It's not that bad. Now, Tucker Carlson and the guy that was with him, they were pretty adamant that it was it was a severe thing. But everybody else is like, oh yeah, y'all are just exaggerating. It's not near as bad. Let me go and grab a hold of USA Today for an example. We'll use them as an example, and let's see what they got to say. And then, oh, you're blowing it out of proportion. It's not as bad as you say. Which that's what they're saying. So I don't know. Okay, fact check. Bill Gates is not trying to block the sun's rays in the name of climate change. Actually, yeah, he is, but there's a way around it. The claim Bill Gates is working to block out the sun to prevent global warming. Bill Gates' wealth has allowed him to donate and invest in projects across the globe. It has also made him a frequent target for conspiracy theorists. Recently, social media users are claiming that Gates is working to block the sun's rays to combat global warming. We got to stop global warming. I'm still trying to figure out where the global warming is at. I woke up and it was only like 45 degrees in the house, and I'm freezing to death. But global warming, folks. One example is the April 8th Facebook post, which reads, "Let me get this straight. Bill Gates is working on a way to block the sun's rays so we prevent global warming. On the other hand, we're expected to go to solar-powered energy. So how does that work?" Well, that's a good question to be asking. Because these people that want to blot out the sun, or they want to do global climate change and all this crap, they don't look at the long-term effects of their thinking, and they just don't. I mean, they don't think of the consequences. USA Today reached out for the poster for comment. Post misrepresents a Harvard project that Gates partially funds. The post refers to Harvard's stratospheric controlled perturbation experiment, or SCOPEX, which is financially backed by Gates. Well, wait a minute. Okay, if it's financially backed by Gates, then it is Gates's project. Anyway, wrap that one in your mind a few times. But this claim, like other reports, misrepresents the nature of the project. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what it says. The project revolves around the concept of geoengineering. Okay, well, large-scale efforts to reduce the effects of climate change, usually temporary. Yeah, okay. On oceans, soils, and atmosphere. At its core, SCOPEX seeks to better understand the efficacy and risks of solar geoengineering. To do so, scientists need to determine whether there are aerosols that could reduce or eliminate ozone loss without increasing the chance of other risks. The experiment involves launching a high-altitude balloon about 12 miles into the atmosphere, according to its website. A small amount of material is then released to create a perturbed air mass about 100 yards wide and a half a mile long. Instruments carried by the balloon monitor that region for changes in aerosol density, atmospheric chemistry, and light scattering. In other words, it's a very small-scale project, far from the climate-altering claims about it that have surfaced on social media. After Reuters reported on the effort back in December of 2020, yes, that 2020, the conservative Western Journal published a piece called "Bill Gates' Savior Complex Spirals Out of Control and Funds Sun-Dimming Plan to Save the Human Race," in which case the writer portrays the project as a threat to humanity. Well, if Bill Gates gets his way, it will be a threat to humanity, because he's going to blot out the sun. He literally wants to blot out the sun.
So, of course, in true Von Helton fashion, as he reads an article that's actually debunking everything he's been saying for as long as I can remember on Bill Gates, at least since this shit come out, he still continues to think he has a case, right? He just ignored everything he just read, and he's right back to like, oh, the sun's going to be blotted out, and da-da-da.
The reports that misinterpret the project include a story from the British tabloid The Daily Mail, which warned of potential disaster as a result of the experiment. Well, now, wait a minute. If he's successful in blotting out the sun, it will be a dangerous experiment, because plant life must have sunlight. There's no getting around that. Okay? You can't get around the fact that plant life must have sunlight. There's no getting around that. So, yes, any attempt to blot or even partially blot out the sunlight is going to harm plant life on this planet. It just is. That's called common sense. You know, that thing that Trump talked about a while back. What was it, a couple weeks ago or whatever? Common sense. All right. ScopeX and geoengineering in general is somewhat controversial. Wow, you think? I mean, we could die, literally die. But ScopeX researcher and Harvard professor David Keith says concerns like these are not supported by science. People are right to fear over-reliance on techno fixes, but there's another nightmare. It's that after bringing emissions down to zero, we realize in hindsight that early use of geoengineering could have saved millions of lives lost in heat waves and helped preserve some of the natural world, Keith wrote in an op-ed published in the Boston Globe. Well, yeah, okay. All right. My retort to that would be, hey, have you talked to anybody from the previous ice age? Anybody? Show of hands. Show of hands of anybody that's talked to the people that existed in the previous ice age. Anybody? I don't see anybody's hands going up. Yeah, you know why? Because they got extinct. It was an extinction level event. It wiped them out. And now you've got an idiot called Bill Gates that wants to do the same damn thing. He wants to create an extinction level event by peppering our skies with not just chemtrails now. Now he wants to just seed it with all kinds of crap to blot out the sun. Well, blotting out the sun means the plants will die, and then the plant-eating animals will die, and then the animal-eating animals will die, and then we die. You know, this is common sense. This is not rocket science. I don't need to be a professor at a college or university to know that plants must have sunlight. Okay, I don't need to be an expert to know that. That's called common sense. Again, common sense. We should also note Gates' involvement in ScopeX project is purely financial. Yeah, I'm sure. His grant-making research fund, the Fund for Innovative Climate and Energy Research, partially finances the project. Partially. Okay. ScopeX is also partially funded by Harvard's Solar Geoengineering Research Program, which is also funded by foundations and donors, including Gates. Well, okay, so if Gates is funding it from the right side and Gates is funding it from the left side, isn't it Gates's project? Yes, of course it is.
Well, no, it says he partially funds it along with other donors, so there's other interest.
Whatever. Let's go on. In 2010 TED Talk, Gates argued that if society ends up in a position where global warming is bad enough that geoengineering needs to be taken seriously, it should already know and understand the process and its potential consequences. Our rating, false. Excuse me. The claim that Gates is working on a way to block the sun's rays to prevent global warming is false, based on our research. Okay, wait a minute, stop. You just admitted that Harvard is going to release a balloon that's going to put particulates in the atmosphere to test whether or not we can indeed block the sun's rays. But now you're saying it's false? No, it's not false. And then you say that Gates is funding the left side and the right side of the project, which means it's Gates's project. But you're saying it's false. Okay. Additionally, the project is not working to block or dim the sun. Well, what's it for then? Christmas? I mean, what's it for? Rather, the project seeks to understand the potential risks of geoengineering. Oh, okay. You know, see, here's my problem with people who do this. All right. They'll come out and say, oh, Von is exaggerating, or, somebody else that's, sounding the alarm is exaggerating. But if you stop it now in the testing phase, you don't have to worry about it later when it's in the final phase where they really are blotting out the sun. Because if we wait until they put out enough particulates in the atmosphere to completely blot out the sun, we're probably all going to fucking die. And I kind of like living. I don't know about you, but I kind of like being here. And of course, you know, blotting out the sun would be one of the most horrendous ways to die there is. I can't think of a worse one because it's pitch black dark. You're prone to animal attacks. You know, I mean, not to mention starvation, not to mention other factors. I mean, it would not be a pretty environment. It would be a hellscape. And it says, you know, it says our fact check sources: USA Today, June 12, 2020, Reuters, December 18, 2020, Geoengineering Monitor, Access, April 23, Western Journal, December 27, 2020, the Daily Mail, August 12, 2019. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not tired. David Keith's research group at Harvard University, October 19, 2020. Koich group at Harvard, Access, April 23rd. Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society. Whenever you're doing a new project, and this is one of the baby steps. However, if we don't stop it at the baby step stage, and we wait until they're actually filling the entire sky full of white stuff.
All right, so now it seems that he's revising it. He's spinning. Is a little bit of a pivot here. So he's conceding that this is at the baby stages of this, but it has to be stopped before it becomes what Vaughn originally thought it was. Okay, that's where we're at now. Okay.
It's a bit too late. Now's the time to sound the alarm. Now's the time to nip it in the bud, as they used to say. And say, no, we're not interested in blotting out the sun. Thank you very fucking much. What we're interested in is Bill Gates being thrown in a goddamn rubber room before he ends up getting us all killed. You know, but I mean, you know, it's just a little tiny experiment, Vaughn. Yeah, and that's why we need to stop it now while it's in the experimental phase. Not wait until the whole sky is a solid sheet of white and you can't see no sunlight at all, hardly. You know, maybe a little tiny bit, but certainly not enough to keep the plants alive. And so all the plants start dying, and then the plant-eating animals start dying, and then the animal-eating animals start dying, or they attack you, and then you die. You know, I mean, this is insanity. This is absolute insanity. And you know, let's see if have I got another one. Let me see if I got another one. Well, I got even Copilot weighed in. So let's see what Copilot says, because Copilot weighed in. Let's see what Copilot has to say here. I got to blow it back up. I potted it down. All right. Is Harvard really going to blot out the sun for Bill Gates? Not quite. Harvard scientists are exploring a controversial climate solution called solar geoengineering, which involves reflecting sunlight away from Earth to combat global warming. Isn't that what I just said? This research, known as Stratospheric Controlled Perturbation Experiment, or SCOPEX, is financially backed by Bill Gates. Well, wait a minute. Then it is his project. If he's the backer, it is his project. Golly, you know what? I don't understand people. Anyway, the idea is to spray non-toxic calcium carbonate dust. Non-toxic. You believe them, don't you? It's going to be non-toxic dust they spray? Okay. Anyway, into the atmosphere to mimic the cooling effects of volcanic eruptions. However, this concept has sparked debates due to potential risks. Wow, you think? Such as unpredictable weather changes and concerns about moral hazards like reducing the urgency to cut greenhouse gas emissions. It's still in the experimental phase, so no sun-blocking missions are happening just yet. What do you think about this approach to tackling climate change? Okay, so even Copilot is like, Don't worry about a thing. You're blowing it out of proportion, Vaughn. It's not going to be as bad as you say, Vaughn. It's not going to be dangerous. We're not all going to die in an extinction level event. Forbes saying that Bill Gates' venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere. Fact check MSN. People claim Bill Gates' efforts to block the sun. Newsweek, fact check, is Bill Gates literally trying to block the sun? Harvard's plan to blot out the sun is a great idea. Oh, let's see this one. Harvard's plan to blot out the sun is a great idea, says Bill Gates. Well, there you go.
Well, the only reason I'm letting, usually I don't like to listen to Vaughn read, but it's just because everything he's pulling up is completely debunking the bullshit that he's been spreading, and I'm loving it. I'm just watching him, deal with it, There you go. All right. Yeah. Loving it.
My God, there it is. That's a great idea. Great idea. Okay, here we go, boys and girls. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Great idea, man. Yes. Yes, indeed. Great idea. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Close that. All right. Harvard's plan to blot out the sun is a great idea, says Bill Gates. Harvard University could start tests experimenting with blotting a section of sunlight this June. This June, folks. January 28, 2021. Okay, that's okay. So it's June of 2021. Have they already had the experiment? Makes you wonder. Scientists at Harvard University proposed a radical experiment capable of lowering the effects of global warming, and Microsoft founder Bill Gates is backing the idea with money, according to a briefing from ETC Group. Okay, so this is from this is a thing from 2021. ScopeX. So did ScopeX already do this? That's a good question. And if they have, then that means they're into phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, whatever that would be.
And so now he's just completely speculating ahead of it, right? Because the implication, even VONHELTON, I think, is realizing that if they have already done this and absolutely nothing has happened detrimental to anything at all, then Vaughn's full of shit. So now he's got to imagine that they're up to phase fucking 10 of this master evil plan. And now look, he's looking up to the side. His brain is working. He is actually trying to. It's just on the spot, bullshitting from here on in, folks.
Would that be the final covering of the sky with white stuff? And it makes me wonder. Okay, so this stuff was This was from 2021. Obviously, the one I read first was actually from this year.
Notice he doesn't want to read the rest of the articles, right? He says, this is how he admits defeat. But he's not really admitting anything, right? But he's confronted with it. And this is how he deals with it.
Where they're wanting to do it again. So, if they're wanting to do it again, then that tells me that this is either phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. It's because phase 1 was in 2021, in June of 2021. So that means they've already done it, class. So if phase 1 is already done, then this, here in 2025, we're going to be doing phase 2 or phase 3 or whatever phase we're on. I don't think we're at the stage of completely blotting out the sun yet, hopefully. But I still think we need to put good old Bill Gates in a rubber room and put Dr. Eric Pianica in there with him so that they can sit there and talk about extinction level events together. So what Tucker Carlson and that guy were talking about then is something that they're doing now, which would be phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, whatever phase they're on. Because phase 1, according to this article, was in June of 2021. Okay, so phase 1 is in the can. So what they're going to be doing for 2025 then would be phase 2, I hope. Only phase 2. Hopefully they're not at the point to where they're completely blotting out the sun yet. So then what they're doing in 2025 then would be phase 2. Common sense, right? So, okay. So then, yeah, that's that's a very bad idea. It's just a very, very bad idea. But yet here we are again, wanting to do this crap. Why Time Magazine, why billionaires are obsessed with blocking out the sun. Okay, let's see what this says. This is 2023. Let's see what it says. And it's raining outside, boys and girls. Yes, it's raining, it's pouring. All right, and that is too small as well. So let's zoom in here. What's this big ass box here? Aside as to whether dollars into fund done now. In recent years, some scientists, he's caught wind of it being talked about again. Okay, so if something kicks off now, that would be phase 2, provided phase 2 hasn't already occurred.
VONHELTON is
phase 3 or 4.
He's desperate now, folks. He's desperate to make this conspiracy, right, work. It's got to work. He's desperately searching articles now, trying to find something. And so you see the words George Soros. So I mean, it's got to be bad, right?
Or whatever. So obviously, it isn't going to be a balloon this time, spewing out a few little particulates. It's going to be something a lot bigger. That's how these things work. And they even work that way in the movies, ironically enough. So, but now we're getting to a higher stage, and this is the time to nip it in the bud. This is the time to say, okay, we're going to put the kibosh on this thing, and we're going to stop it. And y'all have a wonderful fucking day, because we're not gonna geoengineer, solid white skies that blot out the sun. No, we're not gonna do that. That's a bad thing. So, but that's the proposal. That's what they're trying to do, and they're not going to quit. I guess they're just not going to stop. They are bound and determined to do this, and I don't understand. I don't understand it. Maybe somebody else can make sense of it, but I mean, I can't make no sense of it. It just seems silly and ridiculous to me. But what are you going to do? But they are apparently going to go for phase 2 now, if I'm understanding correctly, since phase 1 was already done. Now, is Harvard going to be the one doing phase 2? Or is it going to be Bill Gates's group that does phase? I don't know. I still don't have I did a lot of research this morning, but I still don't know if there's going to be any kind of in-depth discussion on phase 2. I'm not finding it yet. But obviously that video of Tucker talking to that guy about this very subject, and that it's still ongoing. They're still talking about it. They're still wanting to do it. Bill Gates is still wanting to do it. All right, so phase 2, phase 3, somewhere along the line, I hope. But my point still stands. Now's the time to stop it. Before, they literally cover the sky with particulate matter, and we end up going through a nuclear winter, which would be very bad. It would be an extinction level event in and of itself. Oh yeah, that would be pretty bad. So, I wanted to get on here and let y'all know what's up. Let y'all know that they're still talking about this stuff, and maybe even planning it as we speak. Who knows? But I saw that video with Tucker talking to that guy, and it's like, oh my God, are they going to do phase 2? So yeah, they're probably getting ready to do phase 2 just any time. So keep your head on a swivel. because nothing good can come from this. It just can't. This is not common sense here, folks. This is craziness, okay? Wanting to blot out the sun is crazy, because when all the plants on the planet die, then the animal or the plant-eating animals die, and then the animal-eating animals die, and then it's our turn. So, yeah, this is a very stupid idea, but which apparently is now in phase 2. So, I just thought I'd give you all a heads up this morning. Let you know where we at. We're at 38 minutes. That sounds like a plan to me. All right, so just a quick heads up, let you know what's going on. And to be very cautious, keep your head on a swivel, be prepared for anything. Because, you know, if they're successful with phase 2, which is obviously going to be a lot bigger deal than just throwing a balloon up in the sky. What it entails, I could not find. We will find out, I guess, though, huh? So keep your mind.
So he has absolutely no idea, but he's going to continue to push it and fearmonger with it. Okay, yeah, that's classic Von Helton right there, folks.
Sharp and clear, and get plenty of rest and keep your head on a swivel, because it's untelling what's liable to go on. It's just untelling. I am pleased to hear, though, that somebody put the kibosh on the Harvard plan. Of course, they just went to a third party and did it anyway, though, didn't they? Yeah, that's what I just read to you. So, I mean, you got enough green, you can get anything done, right? You know, hey, here's $1 million. Go do this thing, you know, and they'll do it, buddy. They'll do it. Oh, yes, they will. So, hopefully, phase 2 is not going to be that bad. You know, excuse me. And we can stop the insanity before it gets out of control. Because it's obviously going to get out of control eventually. Eventually, they're going to spray the entire sky. They're going to blot out the sun. And then those beautiful rainforests are just going to die. Because they can't get no sunlight. Can't even get partial sunlight. Because it's not enough. It's not enough to keep plants alive. And so that's the end of that. 4:32 in the morning, and I've got this in the can, I do believe. So we're going to get out of here and win. You all have a pleasant day, and better tomorrow. Keep your head on a swivel. We're going into phase 2 of this blotting out the sun shit. You know, it would be nice if somebody from the Trump administration would say something, but they won't even mention Bill Gates' name, let alone mention what he's doing to kill us all. So whatever. Anyway, I'm out of here, and we'll catch you later.
All right, folks. And I think that's where we're at for this evening for us. Thank you very much for joining. Threw together a little show. Had its moments, folks. And for those that missed it, let's end on a high note here. If you were not here for the beginning, is this AI, folks, or is this a message from beyond the grave? We have an update from Music Biz Marty on the current situation. So if you missed it, here it is. We'll let Marty have the last word for the evening. Thank you for coming. Please, folks, thumbs it up and all that good stuff. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Greetings and good evening, everyone. I wanted to stop in and give you all an update on the current status of my trip to Cuba. Cyrax, in his infinite wisdom, seems to believe that Miami is located somewhere in Cuba, so I'm starting to think the feds may not be hot on my trail after all. Something is telling me this may just be a ploy by Mr. Wilkins to have me on the run. Either way, though, I don't see little baby boy being much of a factor at the moment, since currently he has managed to brick his Xbox and his PC back to back, leaving him with no way to work or be able to provide for his family. Most importantly, though, he's vulnerable and can't protect his family right now. That's the most important part. Speaking of the little retard, the book is making a killing on Amazon, as well as other retail sites, and not just the digital version. The print version was on bestseller lists across the nation as well. Be sure to also look out for the new action figures of the 43s at 339 by my fellow amigos, N-Word Boy and William Glory Hole. Sorry, guys, but I'm going to keep this short just in case the little freak is lurking somewhere on one of his sock puppet accounts. I just wanted to thank everyone for the help in our massive success in operations and send everyone salutations from the sunny shores of